This is how you get that. This is how you make those eyes pop. I got that. Just a thought.
I'm gonna go to the office tomorrow and get one of those because we are on 2 different levels right now. This is
very different level.
Like I'm in a bunker. You look like you're on a fucking movie set.
Yo, it's crazy, man. I don't get it. You put a light above you, or you look ugly. You put a little circle in front of you, it looks great. It's amazing. I don't know what it is, man. All right, new KFC Radio. Quarantine edition, back to the OG ways of KFC Radio. It's brought to you by CBD MD. Stressful times, folks. It is a stressful time out there, and everyone needs to remain calm. Keep your composure. So a little CBD MD can go a long way. CBD MD has all different types of ways that you can get your CBD fix. You can do, even right now, they have the CBD PM soft gels, which are a quick and convenient way to get some deep sleep. So if you want to make sure you fall asleep at night, if you're stressing, if you're worried, if everything has you scared, pop a CBD PM soft gel. They got the regular capsules, they've got the lotions and the tinctures and the bath bombs and everything in between. The CBD PM soft gels have melatonin, chamomile. I mean, even just saying the words melatonin and chamomile makes me sleepy.
They're suave words.
Right? Melatonin, chamomile. I mean, I'll go to sleep right fucking now. So you can relax, regroup, unwind, and stay calm in this crazy time in history. Go to cbdmd.com. Promo code KFC for 25% off. You're going to need it. We're all going to need it. Because the end of the world's coming, bro.
Where's your concern level at now?
Meaning like I don't know. I'm pretty fucking scared. I don't think we will bounce back eventually, but I mean, I think it's gonna be like several months.
I'm pretty concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like somebody, so this whole weekend I was putting out those videos and the tweets and really fucking yelling at people, and so many people were tweeting me back being like, "What are you fucking scared?" Like, yeah. I'm fucking scared. This is scary.
The scary thing.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see what Large said today on radio? Yeah. That one I needed some CBD after. I kind of had a bit of a panic attack when I read that.
Yeah, so
it's fucking light off. I can't do this. You look stupid.
Sorry, babe. The ring light stays. You can get it on Best Buy for like $100. Just order it right now. So Large said, oh wait, that was on Deke. Let me pull up Deke's quotes because it was a concerning one, and extra concerning that it came from Goldman Sachs, because the only people I'm trusting now are the people who are worried about their money, and Goldman Sachs cares about one thing. Politicians got to worry about elections, and they got to worry about lobbyists and things they said. Goldman Sachs follows the money. So and now this actually might qualify as fear mongering. So whatever, take it for whatever, take it for what it's worth. But Large did Stock Central with Dave today, because Dave is now doing Davey Day Trader and all that shit, trading his stocks. And where did he delete it? He might have deleted it because here it is. So Large said Goldman Sachs had a secret phone call. They said that 50% of Americans will contract the virus. Peak virus will be over the next 8 weeks. They're saying around 2% will die, or 3 million people.
That's fucking scary.
That's real scary, man. And now, like, the flip side is you see Idris Elba comes out and says he has it, and he hasn't shown a single fucking symptom. Donovan Mitchell says he could play a 7-game series right now, not a concern. So, like, as long as this maintains, like, as long as young people can fight it and they're okay with it, it's not the worst thing in the world. But 3 million people is a lot of fucking people, man.
You know what's weird is because the young people will be fine. I was like thinking I'll call my grandfather this weekend, but it almost feels mean to call.
Right. It's like, hey, we haven't talked in a long time. I'm calling you because you might die soon. What's up?
Yeah.
It's tough.
I was weighing the options a lot all weekend. Like, should I give my grandfather a call? Because it's almost like just reminding him, like, hey, things aren't looking
right. Not good for you and your buddies. You and your age demo, not great. I know, it's tough. Yeah, I'm pretty scared. I'm not pumped about this. Not pumped. But like, I think that I think a healthy dose of fear is a good thing. I think you need to know that like it's serious. I mean, you see the tweet I just sent out? The fucking people at the beach?
No.
Clearwater, Florida. Beach is packed. Packed. Disneyland last night. You saw that? Disneyland packed to the fucking gills.
Dude, if you go to Disney, I think you should, like, it's okay.
Yeah, right. Right. So here's what I said. I said bring back doming. Instead of killing the forest fires now, if you congregate in a big place right now, boom, we drop a dome on your ass, and now you're fucking stuck. You want to go to the beach? Fine. Guess what? You can't leave. You're staying there forever now. Dome them off, fucking assholes.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, Burr had that bit about cruise ships probably 2 specials ago.
Yep.
You could throw Disney World in there too.
Uh-huh.
Granted, a lot of kids are there.
I know, that's the problem. If we could somehow, I mean, hey, knock on wood, so far coronavirus does not seem to affect kids. Maybe you could just ravage the adults at Disney.
Dude, I mean, I went there as recently as this year, so I can speak to this. There's no one there that's
important, yeah.
You're gonna miss.
No one's missing anybody from Disney. Oh my God, dude. It is it's crazy. We did radio remote today. It was a disaster. We're gonna have to figure that out and get used to. Here's the thing. Me, you, Keith, like, we're good, dude. Like, I mean, this was like, okay, I know how to do this. Like, we're fine. Woke up, wrote a blog, did a podcast, did a WFAN spot, did another blog. Now I'm doing this podcast. We're good. I mean, I can do this. It's other people who are like, the people who are already like, oh my God, I gotta get out of the house. I'm like, we got a long way to go, bro.
Dude, I had to go get my mail, and because I have my HelloFresh.
Yeah.
And, like, that was hard for me to do.
I know. These people who want to do stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Social distancing for life, dude. I feel like this is our time. We've been planning, like I've been distancing myself from people for years.
Dude, a good portion of my 20s, entire days were spent not speaking to people.
Not speaking a word.
I'm a veteran of this game, and I will prevail for sure.
We're born in it, molded by it. Life finds a way. We shall continue. We're gonna inherit the earth and start this bitch over. It is weird though to stare down the barrel of like 2 months, at least, right? Like that's what they're saying for gatherings and shit. So like
San Francisco just did 6 weeks straight up. You're not allowed outside.
At all during any hours? I know.
Let me double check. I like to have some semblance of accuracy here, so let me double check.
Jersey's doing 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. So like basically no nighttime. So it's like you can go somewhere during the day if you need to work, and then you got to stay home.
Okay. Lockdown in San Francisco to be announced. 6 Bay Area counties are expected to announce a shelter-in-place order for all residents Monday, directing everyone to stay inside their homes, away from others as much as possible for the next 6 weeks. Midnight Tuesday goes into effect.
I mean, yeah. Like, I don't know if it's an American thing, modern thing, whatever, but the amount of people who are like, I'm going to live my life and do what I want, because it's America. Like, okay, asshole. As long as you can sleep at night with being the motherfucker that killed everybody's grandparents.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
It really is, of all the things to, like, what you have to do to be a hero. Sit on the couch if you want.
Sit down. That's right.
Some people run into burning buildings, others fight in wars, and that's how their heroic act. It's actually very millennial, so to speak. Like our big act, our big heroic act of our lifetimes won't be storming the beaches at Normandy. And granted, obviously there are wars being fought anyway. But like for the rest of us, it's just sitting on the couch.
Right. Your grandparents faked their age to go to war, to pick up guns, and they stormed the beaches, and there are firefighters and there are police officers who get gunned down in the line of duty. There are doctors on the battlefields. There are people volunteering, getting their hands dirty. And we just want you to Netflix. We just watch porn at home. And there are people who are like, no, we can't do it.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Yesterday was a tough day. Yesterday, Pornhub, I ran a show on it. like there might be something, like, I don't know. I think my mind is going to be working completely by the time this is all said and done.
Oh, man.
I'm going to rewire my brain.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see this is going to... I'm going to come out of this thing with some sort of new fetishes and some sort of new kinks. Like, I'm not into it now, but 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks from now, I'll be watching fucking hentai porn and shit. I learned a new porn term, John.
What is it?
I don't even know how to fucking say it. It's like ahagio. It's AHAGEO, I think. So I watched this video of this young woman who just got her mouth treated like a vagina. I mean, it was just a fiasco for her and her mouth. And then she did this thing in the middle of it where she just, and I can demonstrate because we're doing it on Skype here. She just, like, it's just her and the camera, and she's going like this, like googling her eyes and rolling them around in the back of her head and crossing her eyes with her face being a fucking mess. And apparently it's like a hentai thing. Crazy, John.
I don't think.
Fun, and I'm learning new porn shit.
I don't think I'm into that.
No, I'm not. I was not.
Down the line.
I was not into it. I was like, she started doing it, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then I read like in the comments or whatever, the description, it said that. I was like, and I'll tell you what, it just reinforces you goddamn Asians eating bats, causing pandemics, and watching weird porn. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? But I swear, if on day 2 I'm figuring this shit out, what's going to happen on day 202? I'm scared, John. I'm scared.
Probably going to be watching the stuff. We have Bert Kreischer on the episode today, watching what he's talking about.
We got Bert Kreischer on the fucking show. I totally forgot about that. Bert Kreischer on the show. Unbelievable interview. Me and John went into the office a couple Saturdays ago. Thank God, by the way. Well, I mean, there's more important things in the world, but we did get this one in right before coronavirus took over. Awesome interview with Bert, and an even better ATI that will be out tonight, Tuesday night. We're going to do a YouTube release. So if anybody watched the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut governor's press conference, it was like a live YouTube where we had it. There was like a chat room on the side, so you could watch and chat, and it all released at the same time so everybody could watch it together. We're going to do that with Bert's YouTube. So Answer the Internet live at 9 p.m. Tuesday night. We'll all interact as it comes out, and you can watch alongside with us. But yeah, first time Bert came through to KFC Radio, he talked about quicksand porn, and he opened up our eyes to a whole new world. Second time, he talked about freeze porn, which is, I'll let him describe it to you in the interview. But yeah, I'm going to definitely be doing a little search for that.
Was it in the interview or was it ATI, he said?
Oh, shit, you're right, it was ATI, so we'll describe it here. So there's this Asian porn where this guy walks in and he has like the magic words. He's like a magician. He does magic. And he says like, konnichiwa, sayonara, sayonara. And it makes everybody in the room freeze. And then he runs around fucking them while they're frozen. And then he snaps his fingers and time resumes. And they're all like covered in cum and they're naked and they just got fucked and they don't know what happened. Which just sounds like Japanese freeze tag rape. That's
like, all it is. I don't understand how Burr even stumbles upon it. Like, he's opened my eyes to two really disturbing things.
Yeah.
And like it's like he has to go out of his way to find just fucked up stuff.
Well, we said it the first time with quicksand porn, like it takes a lot to surprise me. I know it all. I know all the tricks. I know all the things. And Bert said, "Have you guys watched quicksand porn?" I said, "Yeah, because of you." And he's like, "Well, I got some new shit for you. I got that new." So the machine, Bert Kreischer, on the show today. We'll get to our voicemails, of course, as well. But I mean, anything else Corona related? Like, obviously, all sports are cooked. Get your Netflix on.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I'm reading an article right now that I completely forgot about. It's called "I Think About This Often." When the White Stripes just pretended to be siblings.
They're not?
They're married.
Wow, that's fucking weird.
It's so weird. Like, for a decade, they just pretended to be brother and sister. Like, Jack White would introduce Meg. He'd be like, let's bring my big sister up on stage right now, and then they'd go home and fuck.
See, this is why there's step porn all over the place, because people are weird and kinky like that.
It's one of the more. I'm only like, you called me in the middle of it. I'm only like halfway through the article, but like, I remembered them being siblings. I don't think I knew they were married.
I think it's weird enough when I definitely didn't know that. I think it's weird enough when, like, you know, Mac and D are married to each other, and fucking Dennis and the, like, that's strange enough. To be married and to willingly choose to play siblings is fucking jacked up, man.
It's one of the more twisted things I've ever heard.
Do you think that it's a weird, like, do you think that a manager could have been like, you know what I think really plays? A brother and sister duo, like, in music. That'll crush. Why don't you guys just say you're that? Or do you think that they're just, like, fucking weird and, like, creepy and, like, let's just pretend to be siblings?
I think they're just weird. I think they're just like...
They're definitely, the White Stripes are definitely fucking weird. We know that. But what the hell, man? Like, because you know they go home and they start to fuck and they're like, come on over here, big bro. Like, come here, sissy. You know what I mean?
Come here, sissy?
Yeah, I'm sure they're weird like that. Come here, sis. Haha, isn't that funny? We pretend to be siblings. Suck my dick, sis. Ha.
Oh, no.
Weirdos,
no.
man. Absolute fucking weirdos. All right, let's get in.
I also for Corona, I bought I'm doing two things. Actually, we can keep an update for me here. Two things I've done to prepare for, you know, potentially being bored. We'll see.
Okay.
One, ukulele for beginners.
Oh God, I hate your guts. Hate your guts.
If you hate that, what I did of the other move is either genius or crazy or both. But I got jealous with Ben Affleck going viral the other day because everyone's so surprised he speaks Spanish. And I was like, I speak Ben Affleck Spanish. I can do that. So what I did, unprecedented move here. I bought 2 books, one Spanish, one English. And I'm gonna read the Spanish book and keep the English version next to me for reference.
You are the biggest asshole in the world.
Yo, I'm gonna come out of Corona fucking bilingual, son.
You are not going to come out of Corona bilingual. You are not going to come out of Corona as a ukulele player. You are going to come out of Corona with a chafed dick, and that's fucking it. You're going to come out of Corona with a chafed dick and 20 extra pounds, you fat fucking idiot. This is ridiculous. You're like my friend who said he was going to learn Mandarin and move to fucking China. He never learned anything other than ni hao, wo shi li shi mao. He learned like 2 fucking words. You guys are assholes. Oh my God. I'm going to take that fucking little guitar and I'm going to smash it on your head like I'm Jeff Jarrett.
Hey, Kevin, why you so angry? I don't like it.
I hate your guts. I hate you so much. I hate your guts. Don't make me laugh. I'm dying.
If you just told me, like, I get why I'm so hateable. Like,
oh, yeah.
Can you like imagine just being like, oh yeah, this is my buddy. His plans for quarantine are learning to play the ukulele, and he bought a Spanish book.
Oh no, I hide that from people. If anybody ever says what's Feidelberg like, oh he's a good guy. That's it. I won't go into specifics because if I tell you any specifics about the clothes he wears, the things he does, the hobbies he has, the fucking habits he takes, he's awful. He's the worst.
I mean, I get it. I sure do get it.
Absolutely, man. 100%.
Yeah, so that's what we'll do. My Spanish book isn't in yet. The English version is in. The Spanish version has not gotten here yet. But I'll be providing updates. I'm very excited to get into the ukulele for beginners.
What's like the first song you're gonna learn?
I don't know. That's a good question. First, I got to start off learning about the ukulele history and origins.
Of course.
Conventional misunderstandings about the ukulele.
Oh, there's got to be so many.
Maybe a chapter for you there.
You're right, John. This was like you said about push-ups. Like, this is the time. Put your money where your mouth is, guys. Everybody do your push. Oh, by the way, I got to give a shout-out to this guy, TJ, who offered. He's a personal trainer. And he said, everybody DM him if you want to go to the gym and stay in shape and you can't anymore. And he got like 650 DMs, and he's responding to each of them one by one, putting out a plan for them. So there's a lot of people out there doing good, while we just sit here and fucking yell at each other and play ukuleles and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the time to, if you've been saying like, oh, I'm gonna write a book, well, fucking do it. Or, oh, I'm going to get in shape. Well, bang them out. Now is the time to put your money where your mouth is. And I bet you're not gonna, because they're just going to sit around being lazy.
I'm gonna read The Prince of Mist. And oh, yeah, this is like a young adult novel, too. I'll be able to breeze through this.
Yeah, no problem there. No. Oh, you know what? You are, as stupid and hateable as you are a smart fella. You see the movie studios doing your idea?
Oh, yeah.
For cheap, too, $20.
Dude, and you know what the craziest thing to me was? The replies to that tweet were all too expensive.
All right, well, let me back up. So, John, we've been talking about this idea forever, but John tweeted it out the other day saying once Fast Furious 9 got pushed back, he said, why don't we charge $100 and you can just have it on demand right away? And all the broke boys and the poors of the world were all up in arms. Who would ever pay $100 for a movie? To which you very aptly described, if you get 2 movie tickets and popcorn and Coke and all that shit, it's almost $100 anyway. When you factor in the convenience of your house, you pay a premium. It's about $100. I guess, though, we got to realize that we are just coastal elite assholes. And there are people in the Midwest who would never pay $100. But 20 people? So Paramount is releasing The Hunt, which is a pretty cool fucking movie that got pushed back because of those mass shootings. But it's pretty cool.
That movie might just be cursed.
Yeah, right. It's just not a good time. And then The Invisible Man, which looks pretty fucking creepy and cool. $20. I mean, is there anywhere left, even in like the poorest states in the country, aren't movie tickets going to be like $10?
I would guess yes, absolutely.
Who the fuck is not willing to pay $20?
$20 is what a movie costs when it comes out like 6 months after theaters.
Right.
Right, like $20 is what a movie costs.
So you're getting it early. You don't have to go anywhere. $20 is like a good job by them to do the people a solid. Fucking complaining about that. Broke boys.
Yeah, I mean it's the biggest no-brainer. I think we've been talking about it ever since we learned that Red Dead Redemption, which you can download for $50, made $725 million opening weekend.
One fucking weekend.
I don't know what the biggest box office is, like $1 billion, right? Like, what did Endgame do?
Yeah, like over the course of like a year.
Right, and I mean Endgame, like they really pushed for that too. They put it back in theaters with a new scene.
That was cheating. Yeah.
Yeah, that was big cheating, and that's some people go see that like Bob Fox saw like 9 times or whatever.
Right.
Like, one time, I think $100 is reasonable. If you watch it with 2 people, it's the same price.
And to be honest, I would probably end up buying it like solo anyway.
100%.
The logic is like, hey guys, come on over. Everyone give me like $20. I'm not gonna like charge a cover to come to my house. I would just buy it for $100 and be an idiot.
I wouldn't invite it over either.
No. Social distancing. The coronavirus is going to be gone, and I'm going to be like, this is going to be like a year from now. I'm going to be like, nah, man, I can't come. Social distancing. They'll be, Kevin, it's safe. We got the cure. Nah, man, social distancing.
No.
All right, voicemails today are brought to you by Roman. So there's going to be a baby boom come what? December? It'll be. So Christmas time, the number of babies popping out, it's going to be crazy because everyone's quarantined, everyone's holed up with their boo, and there's going to be a lot of sex going on. So the pressure's on, man. You're going to be having daytime sex, morning sex, sober sex, and it's not always the best for guys to last. See, girls don't always think about that. You go out, you have a couple drinks, you're in the right setting, it's dark, you're buzzed, you last long. Well, it's different when The Price is Right is on and, you guys are both working from home and it's like, hey, how about we do a little afternoon delight? Well, guess what? Our dicks don't work the same way as they do at 2 a.m. with a bunch of whiskey in us. So you got to get your Roman swipes. During all your quarantine sex, make sure you pop those baby open, rub it down, have a little sex, and have a lot of sex, actually, because you're going to last longer when you use the Roman swipes. If you use it consistently throughout the next 2, 3, 4, 8, 10 weeks, you will eventually train yourself to last longer without them. So in the beginning, it's like training wheels. You can have training wheels, and then eventually you push them off, and you go ahead and you fuck on 2 wheels by yourself. So use your Roman swipes. Go to getroman.com/KFC for your first month of swipes. It's just $5. It comes in unmarked package. It's very discreet. It's small enough that you can hide it in your pocket or your wallet if you're on a date. Swipe it on. You're good to go. Go to getroman.com/KFC for your first month of swipes for just $5. All right, voicemails. I got to open that up. Hang on. I'm gonna just play these out loud, John. If you can hear them, I guess we'll just do it old school. I'll repeat them.
Okay.
This is some old school shit. This is when John checks his phone as I play the voicemail, and then I reiterate what happened, and we keep it moving. Let's start out with dating a much older woman.
KFC, Spice, Super Producer BC. I was just calling. I had a quick question. So I'm 21 years old. Became single like 6 months ago, and I'm getting back into the dating scene after dating a girl for almost 4 years. So I just had my first date with a girl who's 28 and has a 4-year-old kid. Remember, I'm 21, so the entire date we were both laughing. We had a great time. Didn't end up going back to her place. I still live at home with my parents, but she made out with me in her car and made it very clear she wanted a second date. I was just wondering if you guys have any advice for dating a very much older girl. She's hot as shit. She's a 4-year-old. Viva.
I mean, 21 to 28 isn't that old.
No, but 21 to single mother is huge.
Yeah,
that girl she could be 22. She's got a kid.
Right, yeah. It's not the age thing at all. Once you're 21, it's like you over 21, you're all the same age.
Right. And then I think there's kind of like 21 to like 28 is probably like the same. And then I think like 28 and up is like you're just old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's probably pretty fair.
I feel like there's one more like line of delineation, and usually it's when like you get married and have kids too, because like you could be, look at Dave Portnoy. Dave Portnoy's 45 and he's like a 21-year-old, Right. So, and I'm younger than him, but I have kids, so I'm older, So I think the X factor here too is that she's got a 4-year-old kid, so she had kids early. And she's been, like, in the mom game for a while. Like, if she just popped a kid out and she was like, whatever, I'm just going to go back to partying. Like, my parents will take care of this baby. But she's, like, a mom, 4 years old. I think that she's probably, like, I got to find a guy. I got to find a man.
You think so? Why?
Because I feel like girls who are single moms might feel like the clock's ticking. Like, she's a hot chick, but she's got to get it. She got to, like, settle down with someone now.
Oh, I disagree. I think she's
looking for fun. You think she's looking for fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could see. I think it's probably one extreme or the other though. I don't think she's somewhere in the middle.
Because if you're looking for someone to settle down with, an adult who lives with their parents, and then, granted you're 21, you're young,
Right.
but like that's probably not who.
Yeah, not settled down with, but I feel like she's gonna want like a boyfriend, like a consistent. I guess it all really depends on why she's a single mom too. Like if she, I feel like I'm in my mind I'm picturing like she just got divorced. She's just like newly single and she's kind of like not used to that life. But if she's just like out here just having a good time, I guess yeah, you could just keep throwing it.
I would. I mean, like you're the authority here on this. Like I don't even know how. Like I wouldn't want to. Like I'd be like I don't want to meet the kids.
Yeah, I mean that when you're 21, I'm not looking to be like stepdad. No way.
Sure.
So that's like, I guess that's probably a good indication for this guy. Like, if she's just like, yeah, let's have a second date, and they're fucking going out, they're partying, they start hooking up, doing all the fun shit, and she's like never bringing up the kids or anything, I think then you found yourself a good situation. If she's like, you know, weekdays want to come over, hang out, and have dinner with me and my daughter, I think you're in over your head.
Yeah. It's almost like it could be if she's willing to play. I feel like it could be like a great relationship in like a long distance one, where those are the best because you just live two lives.
Right.
Where it's like all right, you can go with your kids, and then like I get to just do whatever the hell I want.
Right.
And you know when we're together, we're together. But
which by the way will inevitably crash and burn because there will be a time where you're like, I'm shit faced with my buddies playing beer pong,
right?
And she's like, can you come over and like help me with my daughter or something like that?
Dude,
it's like
that shit's crazy to me. Like I always think about that with like basically anyone in the world other than me, like people who are on call for stuff,
yeah.
like doctors or politicians. Like, can you just get? Because like the moment I have a drink, the day's a write off. Right? Yeah. I think we were talking about it with we were talking about it with Burr, where he's like when you just finally get like someone to finally drink, and the last person's like fuck it, fine.
Yep.
And like once like the moment I'm like my dad is one of those weird guys where he'll have like 3 beers and then he'll go to the gym.
Yeah, it's all or nothing.
Like when I crack a top, my day's done.
Which, by the way, before we started this, I watched a clip of Segura and Bert Kreischer. He had his beer. They were doing 2 bears, 1 cave. Segura started it off, cracked a beer, gave him a toast, said, "This week your special comes out," and he just chugged the fuck out of it. It was like, it feels so good. Because he was holding off. He was like, I can't have a beer until I'm all set, I'm all done, did all my promo. So, yeah, for me, it's ones, I don't get the whole, like, I'll just have a couple glasses or a couple beers. It's one speed only.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not even, like, I'm not going to, like, I'm not saying I do it. I, like, once I have 1 beer, I drink a million blackout. But it's just, like, the day's done.
Yeah.
There will be nothing else productive done today. And that's why I don't think I'll ever be able to have children. Because guess what? The day's never done.
It can never be done, dude. It's never done.
Dude, like imagine that. Like you, like that exact scenario is exactly what I was fearing. Where it's like, oh, like so and so fell and broke his arm. Can you come take him to the hospital? Like, no, I'm drunk.
No, I can't. I'm blacked out. Yeah, that's
get him an Uber.
Yeah. Figure it out yourself. Well, that's also the like if you're hooking up with a 21-year-old, you know the fucking score. So. I guess, yeah. I mean, as I talk through it, settle down might not be the right word because she's got to know that he's a 21-year-old idiot. But I think she might be looking for like something consistent or exclusive or more than a 21-year-old might be willing to give. Or she's just like, I need some dick. So I think you're going to have to feel it out and pick up on the social cues regarding date number 2. And because, you know, like if they didn't go home together the first night. I don't know. You know what I mean? If she was just like, I got to get out of the house and fuck, it would make sense. But to go on a date, it all went well, nothing else happened, I want to see you again, that kind of leads me to believe she's hoping for something a little more.
I mean, if she's hoping for more, she's a dummy.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, if you don't understand that a 21-year-old who was just in a long relationship probably isn't the person.
That's the other thing. So yeah, think about that. You've got a girl who either divorced or, God forbid, something worse on one end.
She murdered her.
Maybe she's a Black Widow. Maybe that's. Oh, wait a minute. Don't date this girl. She's gonna murder you. She's just plotting her next kill. But there's got to be nothing weirder. Like, even as this guy described this voicemail, I was kind of rolling my eyes. I'm 21. I'm getting back on the dating scene after getting out of a relationship from 4 years. You were dating a girl when you were 16, dude.
Yeah.
Get back into the date. Oh, what do you mean back? The last time you were doing this, you were going to school dances, and you were ice skating with your girlfriend at you know what I mean? Like, the dating scene. What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah. Yeah, you've quite literally never been involved in the dating.
Never. This is your first foray into the dating scene.
You dated
14 and fucking girls at the bar. What?
He was dating probably, right? Let's say you're 16 years old. You've probably had like a pseudo meaningful relationship with maybe 40 women.
If you're 16?
Yeah, or 40 girls in your life.
I'm
talking about like your sisters, teachers.
Oh, just like any girl you've come in contact with.
You've interacted with 40 women in your life.
Right.
You had the smallest possible selection pool. Absolutely. They were like if you're counting principals, mothers, grandmothers, aunts, sisters,
friends, classmates.
You probably knew 40 women.
Maximum.
And only 10 of them you could legally date. And you just picked one of those men, and you did it for 4 years.
There is nothing crazier than me. I know when you're in it, in everything in life, when you're in it, it's the most important thing to you. Whether it's a relationship or your job or a sport, whatever it is, when someone tries to tell you, like, bro, in a few years, you're going to look back, this doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, that's true. You're right. But also, you got to understand, from my point of view, I've never experienced anything other than this, so this is the most important thing to me. But there should be some sort of rule. It's like, you're not allowed to drive until you're 16. You just, you don't get your hopes up when you're 13 or 14. You just know it's not allowed. There just should be no dating allowed when you're a teenager. None. Now, even college. Just 22, you're like 21. You can start drinking and dating. That's it. You can still fuck, but you can't be in a relationship. Because I'm thinking about my dumbass. There was times where I was like upset about a girl, and I'm sure my parents were like, shut up, you fucking idiot, you know? Like, there's nothing more infuriating than like a 17-year-old who thinks the world's ending. I mean, I guess it's like what's going on here. It's like, yeah, no, I have to go to this bar. I have to go out and party because that's what my life is. Like, just stop being a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Let's see what's next.
Dude, but speaking of like parents, like when my mom just straight up was like, she's like, you weren't a good boyfriend. And I was like, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Like, no doubt. I understand what you mean.
I was like sad, and she's like, why are you so sad? And I was like, I don't know, like, I wish I was in a relationship. She's like, but you weren't good at it. I'm like, all right. That's
true.
That's there.
True. That's talk a little movies.
Hey, KFC Fights BC. Saw this question on Reddit and thought it was perfect for you guys. Now the movie industry is basically just remaking every movie in the 80s or every movie that's ever made, just redoing it again or a sequel or something along those lines. Instead of doing that, why not have it from the perspective of somebody else's movie? So, for example, in Batman The Dark Knight, you get the movie completely from the Joker's perspective, and I think it's way better than doing remakes. So if you were going to pick a movie to redo from somebody else's perspective, who would it be and what movie would it be? All right, thanks.
This is a great question. I love these, man. I love reimagined shit and alternate histories and whatever. So does like The World. That's why Wicked and all that shit was hot in the streets. One movie told from a perspective of a different character. I feel like the Joker and Batman, I think a big idea would be to go from the villain's point of view.
Correct.
So and the Joker is, one of the all-time villains. I feel like they kind of did it a little bit with Star Wars, where you got to see Darth Vader as Anakin. So that's already been done a little bit. Which, by the way, I mean, when it's all said and done, the Star Wars franchise stinks. I mean, they got 3 good movies out of 9. They got 6 very shitty movies. Come on.
That's true. 33%.
Not good. I mean, you know, when everyone, we always say, like, when people say, like, don't make a sequel, just, like, leave it alone. Like, well, when you make 6 sequels and they all stink, you probably should have left it alone.
Yeah, I'm team sequel. I don't think that a bad movie ruins the good movie. But when the bad movies start to outweigh the good movies, that changes a legacy.
Right. It's like the Brady and LeBron thing, where it's like, well, is he going to lose as many as he won? And I mean, it's not really true, but at least it changes the narrative around your greatness or your legacy or whatever. One movie told from a different perspective. I would like to see, it's not a movie, but like, I guess this got a little bit cliche on the internet, but if you could see The Office from fucking Roy's point of view, like those tales where it's like, this guy just stole my girlfriend, man. What the fuck? Because there's so many. Think about how many romances there are where like the person's in a bad relationship, what appears to be a bad relationship because you're seeing it from one point of view, and she like runs off at when there's a movie where someone runs away at the altar, and it's like the big moment at the end where it's like, oh God, they got together. Like, this bitch just left someone at the altar.
Right.
This is terrible. So one of those movies, a rom-com of some sort where someone's getting dumped or shit on or whatever. All-time villains. Let me see. There's some good villains.
I'm trying to think of. I got nothing on the brain right now.
I like to do a little Back to the Future from Biff's point of view, but they kind of cover all those things in the trilogy. Kind of like you see it from different points of views.
I always liked Karate Kid.
Well, they did that with Cobra Kai.
Right. That's true. Fucking yeah, they've just done them all already.
Well, it makes sense that when this kind of became a wave, that a lot of the good ones have already been done because smarter people other than us are. What would be good is like Rocky from Drago's point of view. To see like all the Russians like hate the Americans, like all the hype leading up to it, or Miracle on Ice. If you saw things from the locker room after the Miracle on Ice from the Soviet Union point of view, could not have been a good scene.
No, it was.
Yeah.
Tretiak famously said that it was fun for them. Like I'm sure they weren't in the locker room spraying champagne,
right?
But I believe it was Tretiak or someone.
They respected
said that they had won. Winning was just what they did.
Right.
It wasn't fun for them anymore.
Wow.
It was just like we win, and so that they enjoyed watching the Americans celebrate on the ice because they hadn't felt that in forever.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel
it's
that.
It's also incredibly cocky.
Yeah.
We just got so bored of winning. It wasn't.
Right.
It didn't register as like a thing to celebrate to us anymore.
It's like I fuck so much that I like not having sex.
Right.
That's a good one to think, though. I'm sure we can have some people tweet it out. Everyone's got a lot of time to kill these days, so hop on Twitter with us at KFC Radio and tweet what one movie you could see reimagined from another point of view. Let's do one more voicemail. All right, last voicemail of the day is brought to you by Miller Lite. Stock up on your Miller Lite for the quarantine because you're going to need it. Some of us are at home with kids and family. Other of us are young and we're just trying to party. Either way, Miller Lite is the beer of choice. Whether you're a young kid who's letting it rip with his buddies or you're an older guy who just wants to have a beer at the end of the day to unwind, Miller Lite, great taste, less filling, the official team indoors beer. Stock up on your cases. So we don't know how long this is going to be, but we do know that the best way to help out the world is to sit back, relax on your couch, and have a cold one. That's all. Just drink your beer and hang out at home, and you too can be a hero. So Miller Lite is the official beer of quarantine heroes everywhere, okay? It's brewed in Milwaukee, so you know it's that good stuff. It's Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. And we suggest that you celebrate responsibly. Although I might add that if you're under quarantine and you're not going anywhere and nobody's driving, that maybe you can extend the definition of responsibly. That's all I'll say. But either way, it's the official beer of KFC Radio, the official beer of all our voicemails, and the official beer of the Quarantine Everywhere. So last voicemail, let's see. I'm going to give you a choice, John. You can do... You can do... Hardest thing to do once or helping friends move?
Hardest thing to do once.
Good choice. Good choice.
KFC 5 super producer BC, first time, long time. I had a question. What do you think is the hardest thing to have only one of? My example would be like a bowl of cereal. You have one bowl of cereal, you know you're going for two.
No.
So I was curious, like, what you guys think is the hardest thing to do just once and not do it again? Thanks.
I mean, I know what he's saying about multiple bowls of cereal, but it's not the hardest. There's plenty of times I've only had one bowl of cereal. I think this kind of goes back to our discussion. One beer is pretty tough.
One beer is a tough thing to do.
I actually find two beers to be harder. Because one beer, there are times where it's like, all right, I got to go to dinner, but my buddy who's in town and I only see him like once a year is right next door. I'm going to go have one and then I got to go. Two beers is like you're sitting there, enough time's gone by, you have a couple, you want to have a third. I feel like it's like one or four is beers for me. Or then you keep going. But one beer is a tough one.
Popsicles,
huh?
Dude, I
haven't had a popsicle in like 15 years.
My parents always have them, so like whenever I go home, I take down a box of popsicles. Easy.
Really?
Easy. Just smash them.
Really? Wow. I would never have guessed that. That's cold and that feeling when you bite them. Do you ever bite them?
No.
Oh, that feeling, right? Makes your teeth.
Oh, I hated you even saying that.
Yeah. I absolutely can only do 2 Entenmann's donuts. I absolutely have to have 2 packs of Entenmann's mini muffins. Can't do one of either of those.
I honestly think popsicle is my final answer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something else.
That's fucking hilarious that you eat popsicles that often.
Absolutely. It's just when I'm home. I never buy them. I never have them here. But when I'm at home, just
smash
all kinds of popsicles too. Just like.
What's your favorite popsicle?
Minute Maid ones.
Wait, I'm including the whole world. Your favorite popsicle?
Those are the ones that I eat most at home.
At home, right? But I'm going to include the ice cream truck. There's a correct answer here.
It's the firecracker.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean that is not an opinion. That's a fact.
Or fudgicle. Fudgicle's real good too.
Yeah, but come on, that's a fudgicle. It's not an ice pop. It's a fudgicle. It's like a chocolate thing. The ice pop reigns supreme. The firecracker. Any sort of red, white, and blue, whatever. But the firecracker is the one. All right, it's now time for the man you've been waiting for. Bert Kreischer is in the building. I said that there's a short list of people that I would come into work on a Saturday for, and he's on it. And my God, did he deliver. He's just one of the best interviews in the fucking game. Very humble, very talented, knows so many great people. Like he admits to name dropping in the interview because every story he's telling is about someone who's just fucking awesome. So, I mean, he checks every single box. Interview with Bert is brought to you by Attitude. I got my Attitude sheets right here. They come in this fancy little pouch, this nice little rope, and you can just pop them open. And I got, these are so fucking soft, bro.
Yeah,
these are so soft.
They are on my bed as we speak.
This is what's up right here. Bamboo sheets is the future, baby. So the bamboo sheets, I don't know how it works. Sounds like magic to me because when I think of bamboo, I think of hard wooden sticks that panda bears eat. But if you strip them down, apparently they come out to be really soft sheets as well. So once again, under quarantine, you're going to be spending a lot of time at home. You're probably going to be hanging out in your bed a little more often than maybe you do ordinarily. So you got to make sure that you got the comfiest, softest coolest, freshest sheets in the game. These put cotton sheets to shame. You want to talk about your 1,000 thread count sheets? Whatever, bro. I got bamboo up in here. 100% organic, clean bamboo sheets. It is pure heaven. Silk is too hot. Cotton's too lame. Linen's too scratchy. Bamboo sheets is the new hotness. And right now, you can get a discount when you text bamboo to 64,000. You're going to get 20% off your sheet set right now when you text bamboo to 64,000. You get a 30-day risk-free trial. And if you don't like them, you can return them for a full refund, and they'll cover shipping on the returns. It's 20% off your Attitude sheets when you text bamboo to 64,000.
It's what's going wrong. It's what's wrong with me. Inherently fucking wrong with me.
Which is what? So you got a show tonight. You want to drink pretty much at all times, but now you're getting to the point where you can't.
This is filled with positive energy. So
yes.
So there's serotonin inside here for me. And
Right.
so the way it works, I have 2 shows at the Beacon tonight, and what'll happen is my brain, I'll wake up and I'll go, I want a beer. And if I know that I can have a beer, then I'm good. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna be fine. Let's go work out. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But if I have shit to do, this is so fucking tempting. So he goes, fuck that, dude. No one tells you what to do. You make the fucking rules. Dirk's king of Dirk. You got the big dick. Who you fucking? I've been partying way so fucking hard lately.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Even by your standards, like hard for
Oh
Bert?
yeah. My standards are when you wake up and your sweat smells like piss. That's my standards. I have been partying a ridiculous amount because fucking coronavirus, man. It's like
So you got it.
I mean, you got it. It's like, come on.
Days a number. Who knows?
By the way, by the time this comes out, they'll be like, he actually got it, and that's sad. He was making a lot of jokes about it. I really am wondering who the first celebrity is going to be to get it.
Well, I mean, I feel like for a comedian, it's not good. I mean, you're all over the country.
Yeah.
You're shaking hands. You're doing meet and greets.
I'll tell you what a glass half full I am. You said for a comedian it's not good. I was like, are you kidding me? You know how fucking viral you go on Instagram stories? Day 2.
Yes. So we have a guy here who he's been out all week. He hasn't come to work with it, but he's showing flu-like symptoms. He doesn't know
But
what
you can
it
also
is.
just get the flu.
Right. He's
That's what
afraid
he
to
has.
go.
He officially has the flu.
Oh, he does? Because he
Yes.
told me he was afraid to go to the doctor and check it out because if it was that, he was like, they're going to like throw me in a cage, not let me out. But
do they do that?
I mean,
Yeah, you
I'm
get
pretty sure you
quarantined
get
for, like, 3
quarantined pretty
months.
quick if you
You get quarantined for 3 months.
I think
I'll
what-
just rough it out at home.
That's what I'm saying. So I didn't blame
with
him.
a bunch of fucking. You're gonna put me in the Superdome.
Right.
Yeah.
This is like some Katrina shit, man. No thank
Oh,
you.
they will be sexually assaulting us this quick.
I
First
heard
guy to
about
get
Chris
healthy is
Kyle
like,
up
I
in the
can't catch it
Raptors.
twice. Fuck that.
but
No,
when
but
you-
I agree with you with the sense that like getting it would be good. Like I'm going to Europe at the end of the month, and I was gonna
Yeah.
cancel it because I didn't know what was gonna happen.
No.
But then we talked it out, and I was like, dude, if I get stuck in Europe and we gotta do this all podcast just Skype, and it's just like me quarantined in fucking Europe, like that's fucking
We're blown up.
awesome. That's
Dude.
a great storyline.
The thing is, I don't like. This is what's wrong with this. This is what's wrong with this medium is we don't know enough to responsibly share information. But
people
here we
think
are
they do.
going. Here we are going. How cool would it be to get it? And then that's going to come back and bite us in their ass. Where we're like, these guys, we're celebrating the virus that has decimated our country.
I saw a tweet. Again, who knows if these people are informed? They said they did an autopsy on one of the bodies, and that it had like AIDS-like effects on the body. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I
So
should
you're-
stop
Well,
joking about this.
See, wait, that's so funny. Glass half full. So you're saying I'll lose weight? I didn't
like
know
the
there's a
positivity,
weight
Bert.
loss.
And also, like the AIDS is kind of always like the flu, right? Didn't they used to call it the bug?
Yeah,
that's
'cause
kind of
it's
like it makes
but
sense.
They
it would
said
do.
like the lungs were like ravaged and shit. I was like, well, this is also probably some weird Asian person.
Well, no,
who
but
was like,
I think from what I understand, like, and by the way, this is all like third hand of me texting with other comedians. The only ones that are getting it, that are getting really sick, are old people,
Right.
And that everyone else, it's just like the common cold. By the way, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but that's what they're saying.
that disclaimer opens our episode every time. So you're good.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
about anything, man.
About
I mean,
any.
I feel like I would trust you on like comedy. right? You know what you're talking about with comedy.
I'm really versed in comedy, but when it comes to like, if you told me the Earth was flat and that they had proof, I'd be like, I guess I was wrong.
say this all the time. I'm like, I get it. Like scientists tell me, and they show me a picture, and they talk about the horizon. I understand it, but I don't really understand it. I'm just taking your word for it.
Yeah, and I'm so easily swayed on my opinions, just on anything.
Yeah,
like I'd be talking.
That's
to someone,
a dying trait, though. That's a good trait. I'm glad you have it.
It's a horrible trait.
No.
I fold like a cheap blanket.
So many people
who like
can't admit they're wrong.
They just dig their heels in deeper. It's like, dude, you were just wrong.
It's because my dad, my dad beat that into me. Literally beat that into me. Like his thing was, I remember the Iraq War, right? I come home, I drive home, I got long hair, I pull it back in a ponytail because I had the windows down. I walk in, I'm 17 years old, and I'm like, and my dad's watching the war on TV. Now, all of this is like lost on me. I just go, this fucking stupid war. We need to get rid of this president and get out of this war. And my dad goes, you're a fucking moron. And I went, what? And he goes, go to your room. I'm 17. Go to your room and don't come out until you realize why you're wrong. So I go to my room and I'm like, fuck him. This is what happens. Old men just all want to support the president. Us young guys, we're going to revolt and rage. And then I'm like, I wonder what this war is about. And then I was like, I don't really know anything about the war. Like, I don't know, why did we go to war? And so then I walked downstairs. I was like, hey, why did we go to war? And he goes, he was killing his own fucking people. And I went, oh, that's different. And my dad sat me down and was like, my dad has always given me whatever opinion I have, my dad takes the other one and tells me why I'm wrong, which is like a Bill Burr thing to do. You cannot have a conversation with Bill Burr or Rogan without them. Just it's natural in their brain taking the opposite side and working it back the other way.
Proving you.
Oh, and it's like I think that's why I'm drawn to Bill Burr and Rogan is my dad's approval. But yeah, my dad was like, I remember him going, you have no idea. For my whole life, we've only heard of war. We are now watching war on television. He goes, this is fucking amazing. And then I sat with my dad and we watched the Gulf invasion and watched the war. And it was bizarre. Now to be able to watch, you never had that. You never had that. And I was like, holy shit. So yeah, I'm always flip-flopping on opinions. Like anything, you name it.
People with strong opinions, fuck them. They suck. Like
I'm your conviction.
I change with the wind.
Dude, abortion, I go both ways. I'm like,
I'm bi with abortion.
I think a woman's right to her body and choose what she wants to do with her body is her own right. And a man shouldn't tell her what to do. And if that woman wants to murder a baby, she should be allowed to. There we go. I'm on both sides of the fence. I remember I told someone, they go, you don't really think it's murder. I go, well, it's not murder. And they were like, it is not murder. And then I was like, what? And they were like, I had an abortion when I was 15. I was like, okay. Well, and I'm back on your side.
Burr's got a great joke about that when he talks about the cake batter. And so he's like, if you knock over someone making a cake batter and you're like, that wasn't even a cake. You're like, well, it was gonna be.
Oh, that's so
on the way.
It's so much better.
Great.
Yeah, Burr's a fucking interesting dude. I talk about him a lot lately because I'm spending a lot of time with him. But because we do a podcast together called Bill Bert, and his brain works so fucking quick, where you're just like, I can't remember what we were talking about the other day. We were talking about I saw a conversion van on the street, and I said, those were so cool, man. I wonder whatever happened to them. And he just goes, branding issue. I said, what? And he goes, a couple guys rape a couple kids in a van, and now no one can drive a van around. You look like a rapist.
Smart.
And he goes, same thing happened on rollerblades. We had one fun summer with them, and then a couple gay guys wear them, and now you can't wear rollerblades. And you're like, I'm sitting there like going, I'm still working on vans. Yeah.
Rollerblades got a bad rap, man.
They got a really bad rap.
I tried to bring
it back.
I tried to bring it back. Well, because I tried to bring it back in a bad location. I tried to bring it back in New York City, and I was wearing headphones, and I wasn't a great skater. I almost died every single night, and I was like, this isn't worth it for a couple of funny tweets,
bro. I'm really into roller skating, right? Like I was growing up, I was really into roller
Four-wheelers.
skating. Four-wheelers. Oh yeah, I grew up in Florida. Yeah, it's classy in Florida. And so we do this show. It was called Wings of Glory. It's for Red Bull. They paid a ton of money, and all I had to do was 5 episodes. I had to host 5 episodes, and then I had to jump off an aircraft carrier on a plane.
Sure.
And so I know. And fucking,
you said that very
whatever.
casually.
If the check clears,
almost
fucking
died.
whatever.
I almost fucking died. I'll tell you that story in a second. This was very simple. They go, so the sketch is, and it was all sketchy, and they're like sketch stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, the sketch is, we need you. The guy's gonna have a pencil in his ear, and he's gonna be doing something. We need you to come up to him and go, hey, safety first. Jesus Christ, how many times am I going to say this? Safety first, and then we're going to go wide, and we want you to roller skate backwards with a chainsaw. And I went, okay. And they're like, can you roller skate? I go, actually, I'm a great roller skater. And they go, well, we're going to put the sound of the chainsaw on in post, so you don't need to have it on. I go, turn it on.
Yeah, let's make it authentic.
And they're like, well, we don't need it on. I go, turn it on, trust me. And they're like, we don't need it on, and I think it's a safety issue. I go, fine, but we'll do this one and then turn it on for the next one. And they're like, okay. So I go up, I skate up quick, I stop. I go, hey, his name was Dom. I go, Dom, safety first. I've been telling you that the whole time. Safety first. And I start to roller skate backwards, and I slip, and I throw the chainsaw up in the air. It's off, and it lands directly on my leg. I would have cut my fucking leg off. I would have cut my fucking leg off.
But half glass full would have been a big moment. Would have gone viral.
And then we go to do, this is the crazy part of the story. We go to do the Flutog event in Camden, New Jersey, and and there's a hurricane coming up the coast. And so there's like 1 million people. I say 1 million, it can't be 1 million. Maybe like 200,000 people on the shore of Camden waiting to see this Flutog where everyone flies their own homemade planes off an aircraft carrier. And everyone's sitting there, everyone's waiting, and this hurricane comes up and they deem it unsafe. They're like, the winds are too bad, it's too unpredictable, the currents are going.
It's always unsafe. We're jumping off of a fucking gigantic
but
platform.
It's so windy that people's things go, and then they did one test one and it just flew off into the crowd. So they go, we're gonna call it. I'm up there going, great. I just got paid buku bucks for a thing I don't have to do. I don't have to jump off the thing. I'm like, this is perfect. Chief of police for Camden comes up, just like this short, stocky, red Irish dude, and he goes, okay. Who's in charge of this fucking thing? And the Red Bull people are like, we are. And he goes, okay, who's going first? And they're like, no one. And he goes, the fuck you aren't. Start sending people off this goddamn aircraft carrier. And he goes, what? He goes, I got 200,000 people out there that want to see people come off this aircraft carrier. And if this thing's canceled, there's going to be a fucking riot. And that's not going to be on mine. That's going to be on yours. So start sending motherfuckers off. And they're like, well, we can't make people do it. And he goes, are you paying anybody? And everyone looks at me, and I'm like, oh, wow. And he's like, all right, you're up, numbnuts, go. And so sure enough, I went off this thing and almost fucking died. It almost decapitated me. I landed on my ribs. I cracked my ribs. I was shitting blood. I came home. I was shitting blood. I woke up, and there was blood all in my bed, and I was like, this can't be good. I think I'll just have a whiskey. I got home. This is when it got bad. I got home. I get home, and I'm sitting on our couch, and I have not told my wife that I'm hurt. And I get up and there's blood on the couch. And she's like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, if that's how you're going to talk to our daughters when they get their periods, I think we need to know.
Dude, you just sat on the couch and were shitting blood out?
It was just blood pouring out.
It wasn't shitting, it was just coming out.
It was just pouring out of my asshole.
Dude, you did off it. I've done Flutog before, but we didn't do it off an aircraft carrier. We did it off like a 20-foot thing.
Yeah. Wait, where did you do it?
We did it in Boston. We did it we built it. We had someone build it for us. Yeah. It was like a bar. It was like probably like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that.
Something like a pirates, and it was like a pirate
we were just like pirates, and the one thing they told us was they're like absolutely because we had to one person rode the Flutog and everyone else pushed it.
Yeah,
and I was a pusher, and they were like, do not stop. I mean, do not jump. When you get to the edge, you stop running and you walk back. Yeah, and we were like, fuck that. And so we went right off with it, and it ended up being a great picture where I look like I'm flying further than the Flutog. Yeah.
Really?
But we were not off aircraft carrier height. We were.
You can. I mean, if you pull it up, you can pull it up. Type in "Wings of Glory," and you'll see me going off this fucking thing.
This was a much smaller event.
This was a fucking aircraft carrier, and we almost got swept underneath it because of the currents. And they came in.
That's only half the jump. Is the first thing.
All of a sudden, I'm like swimming there. I'm like, I think I'm going under this fucking aircraft carrier. And they come in a jet ski. They grab me. And they hold on, like we're big wave surfing. Hold the fuck on.
Dude, I don't think they even told anybody it was happening when we did it. Like they were just some confused people on the beach. There were not 200,000 people.
Oh, it was.
You probably did like the first one or something.
It was a massive one.
I am so happy that you're doing 2 bears, 1 cave and normal shit now. Because I feel like I think you did an episode with Rogan or something, right? Where they were, or you said that Rogan told you to stop doing like the travel channel shit.
Rogan and Burr.
Just do fucking comedy, man. Stop doing this crazy shit. You're gonna kill yourself.
Rogan and Burr were very instrumental in giving me the confidence to and you know it's also like I was not that I was out of comedy, but I was not there the way I am now. I wasn't doing dates regularly. I was kind of just phoning it in and like getting paid to do a weekend, I just go do the weekend, and I didn't really, and then I do 2 weeks on Travel Channel, and then go get a weekend, or maybe do a weekend, or then 2 weeks on Travel Channel.
And Travel Channel was like crazy shit, right? You're
It was
like
crazy
dancing
shit.
Monkey, like,
oh yeah, I fell off a waterfall, and I landed on my back. I thought I broke my back, and I had to crawl like a marine crawl out of a cavern, like a big 220 feet deep. I had to crawl out of it on my hands and knees, and then I got met at the trailhead by a
like how much could they have been paying?
It was a lot.
Yeah, but I mean that's
It was a lot.
for broken backs. And
I like
shit.
how it was Rogan and Burr who got you out, not your family. They're like, I got kids, I can't die.
It was a three-parter. Here's what happened.
Prong
Right?
attack.
So everything started falling apart, and like 4 years ago, everything started falling apart. Like I ended up doing another season of this Bert Kreischer show, and it was just terrifying. It was like I did not like it. It was just I was drinking like crazy just to get through the anxiety of doing it, because I got to a place where I couldn't ride a roller coaster because I'd have panic attacks because I got stuck in them a couple times, and I was like losing my mind.
Getting stuck in a roller coaster a couple of times is such a Florida kid thing.
Stop getting on the fucking coasters, Bert.
I'm just gonna keep.
Dude, I got stuck on a roller coaster one time. This is a roller coaster in California. I had a vest on, right? Like a vest that had a camera attached to it and a mic attached to it. So it was super tight. There's a roller coaster that you sit in like this, and then the floor drops out, and then they pull you up so it looks like you're flying, right?
Yeah.
So we pull into the station, and it stops outside the station, and we're waiting for a while. I'm like, this seems like a fucking long time to be waiting. And so then they're like, and then you start panicking a little bit. You're like, I'm fine. We'll be getting out in a second. I'm not going to think about this. Then we pull into the thing, and the floor doesn't go up, and the floor doesn't go up, and the floor doesn't go up, and then one side goes up, and then it goes down, and then one side goes up, and then it goes down, and then both of them come up. I'm like, this is fine. We're going to be out. And we hear the lady who's head of the park go, guys, it's going to be a little bit. We're going to have to bring a mechanic out to get you out of the coaster. There's a malfunction. And now I'm the star of the show, and everyone is around. We have the park is ours, right? So I go, hey, can I talk to you for a second? She goes, yeah. I go, can you just get me out real quick? And she goes, no, it doesn't work that way. We just called the head mechanic. He's on his way. Now I'm very familiar with the park. I go, where's he at? And what ride's he at right now? She goes, he's actually at his house. Oh. And I went, his house? She goes, yeah. I said, where does he live? She goes, he lives out in the Inland Empire. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, it's fucking 4:00. This guy's going to be in traffic. Oh my God. I go, how far are we waiting? And she goes, it's going to be like 45 minutes, guys. I was stuck in this ride for 45 minutes. And you want to talk about panic attacks, like legit panic attacks. I made that woman come and sit on the crisscross applesauce and hold my hand and talk me down.
Absolutely.
And it was
I would definitely do
insane.
the same thing.
So that was what was going on when I was doing Bert the Conqueror. So I come off stage one night, and Burr and Rogan are sitting in the green room, and they're talking, and I must have made a statement or something about I don't know, about being on television or television being important, and Burr just goes, dude, you got to quit your Travel Channel show. And I was like, what? And he's like, we were just talking about it. It sucks. And Rogan's like, yeah, it's horrible, bro. And I was like, what? And they're like, you're doing all this dangerous shit, and you don't need to. And Burr just goes, what's your nut? I go, what? He goes, what's your nut? What do you got to make a year? Tell me what you got to make a year. We'll figure it out. Like a team.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden now, I got these two guys on my team.
It's a good fucking team.
It's
Yeah.
a great team. And by the way, you take advice from this team.
Yeah.
And I tell them my nut, and they do the math, and they're like, yeah, we'll get you advertising. We'll get you sponsors for your podcast. Just focus on your podcast. Do me a favor. And then Segura gets involved, and Segura's like, all right, at the time, I mean, I would give you real numbers, but at the time, monetization was like 50,000 downloads, and I wasn't at 50,000 downloads yet. And they're like, get yourself, all of them are like, we'll do your podcast. We'll all be on your podcast as much as you can to get your numbers up, and we'll get your numbers up. So they all kind of focused. Everyone either brought me a guest or got me good guests, and they were like, focus on your podcast. So I started doing that. At the same time, I go down to Tampa. I'm with my dad, and I'm about to sign a Travel Channel deal. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. My dad goes, so what's the deal, buddy? My dad's whole motto his whole life has been eat shit, cash checks. That's is instilled in me. Buddy, you're not good at a lot of things. For whatever reason, you're good at telling jokes. Just eat shit, cash checks. Whatever they say, eat shit, cash checks. So I tell my dad, we're having a glass of wine and a cigar, and we're outside, and he goes, so what's the plan? And I said, well, eat shit, cash checks, Dad. And he goes, what? I go, eat shit, cash checks. I go, hope Travel Channel gives me another deal, and then I can, another 4 years, and then, eat shit, cash checks. And my dad starts crying. And he goes, oh, buddy, I fucked you up. He was like, no. He goes, if you don't take a chance now, if you don't take a shot now at your career, at like doing stand-up, he goes, you're going to waste it. You're going to waste it. You're going to be 55 years old and working for Travel Channel, and that will be your only option. You need to create your own path. And so now I got these 3 men in my life all telling me this. And I go and I talk to my therapist and I go, I'm meeting with Travel Channel. What do I say? And he goes, what do you want to do? Do you want to just sign another contract? And now I've got the confidence of these guys behind me. I go, no, I don't. And he goes, what do you want to do? I said, I want to do my own thing. He goes, tell her what you want to do. I said, I want to shoot a special. I want to tour. I want to make time for touring. And I'll do something, but it's on my terms. And he goes, tell her that. So I walked in, sat down, told her that. She said, you're fired.
All right, good. Yeah, fuck it then.
Dude, it was the greatest thing that ever. It was the great. I always say this, like, I believe in luck a lot, but like anyone who's listening to this is like, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen for me. Dude, it does. I really didn't. Yeah. I mean, even then, I shot a Showtime special. No one fucking watched it because I took my fucking shirt off, and everyone's like, hard pass. But then the Machine story goes viral, and you're like, shut the fuck up. And then it changes your life. And so I always just believe in luck. I remember Dane Cook one time was like, I went to his house, and he was like, this business sucks. This business sucks. I mean, I work my ass off, and I can't get anywhere. And then I was like, well, whatever. So I leave. I come back the next day, and he goes, I just booked a movie in China. And he was like, that's what I love about this business. It's like a lottery ticket every day. But yeah, I mean, podcasting for me, this is what I was meant to do. Yeah. I have more fun doing this. Yeah. I have more fun. I almost say I have more fun doing podcasts than I do doing stand-up at times. Wow. The only problem is stand-up provides you an opportunity to work on a story and make it good. Yeah. There's no better feeling. There's no better feeling in the world than getting a bit, getting it up and running, half figuring it out, then taking it on the next night and figuring it out to, I think I got it, and then bringing it up the third night and going, that's the fucking bit. Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. On this special I have right now, I have a story about going to a Starbucks. This fucking bit, I've never been more excited about a bit in my entire life. Oh, it's so much fun. And then sometimes you'll write a joke and you'll go, where the fuck did that come from? Like I have a joke on this special that they were doing a promo at where my wife was sick and I wanted to have sex. And she goes, I don't want to get you sick. I was like, we'll practice safe sex. And she was like, you're going to wear a condom? I was like, no, doggy style, so you cough into the wall. Like, I literally was like, where the fuck did that? And you're like, it's like finding $100.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, there's one thing getting a bit, and then another thing having it become the promo. That's like fucking. That's
yeah, and then your wife telling you it's misogynistic.
Yeah. I mean, you either are in the doghouse constantly at home, or you got the coolest wife ever.
I got the coolest wife ever.
Is that what it is?
The hardcore coolest wife ever.
I mean, the every episode of Two Bears One Cave is who you're gonna fuck when she's dead.
Oh yeah. I think we
episode in, episode out.
I don't know which episode is on right now, but we went pretty aggressively.
Well, if it's any more, I'm thinking it's probably the Lakers and Clippers running a train on your wives if you guys died. Does it get worse than that?
It doesn't get worse than that.
Good. You mentioned, you just off the cuff on that episode go, oh yeah, like the Wu-Tang Clan story. And then nothing comes up after that. So I don't know what the Wu-Tang Clan story is. That
I'm
might be
not
going
to ruin it. It's on Tom's special. Joke? Yeah. It's Tom told it to me and Burr. Burr was appalled. And Tom's sense of humor is very dark. Like, what makes him laugh doesn't make everyone laugh.
Even when you guys were doing that video war, and he was just like, so then we decided to just like stab you to death. Yeah, I don't know why, but we just did that.
Sometimes I'm like, I look at him and I go, I don't know what's funny about that. And he's like, think about it. I mean, why wouldn't I stab you, right? And I'm like, well, because we're friends. And he's like, I know, that's what makes it great.
Yeah. Honestly, though, that is...
I get that. That's funny. Like stabbing Kevin would be funny.
Yes, exactly. And I don't know how many podcast duos are really friends. Yeah. Like, me and him are like, best friends for life now, and I feel like you and Segura are kind of the same way.
Me and Segura,
you can really tell the difference between like, all right, these guys get along professionally, or they have history together, versus like they're friends. They that's the kind of shit you do with your friends. Like, I'll stab you to death.
Segura's probably my best friend, and I've been saying it a little bit on stage, but like, you get liberties with your friends, like with your close friends, where you can do say fucked up stuff and they don't call you on it. But if it happens with your wife, she's like, "What the fuck?" Like, and you're like,
Yeah, that's the difference between friends
It's
and
weird
wives.
if you
Bert.
don't say it with your friends. If you don't do the
Yeah,
fuck
I
with some of
agree.
your friends, it's like, what's wrong with you?
You're not fucked up.
Like
friends,
you
you're
want
not
to
friends.
you want to be like regular friends. Say I'm gonna stab you. You want to be weird with friends? Be like, yo, dude, I love you.
yeah.
Yeah, you compliment me. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man.
I looked you right in the eye while I said that.
Don't ever do that again, man. Don't ever do that again.
There should be an app to make friends because it's more comfortable to meet a person and put your dick inside them than it is to become friends with someone. Like,
Well, you know what it is? There's like a natural thing to do with a guy or a girl where it's like, all right, we drank, we talked, like now we're gonna have sex.
Yeah.
With a friend, it's like, well, what, we just like keep talking? Like, what do we? There's no end to this.
There's no closure.
Right,
It's like
finale.
lesbian sex. Like there's nothing to fucking cap this off.
It's
This
like-
just goes
keeps going
forever.
It's like Lord of the Rings. The movies just blend into one. So wait, you're telling me there's no end to this? It's just I gotta watch
one
the next
story.
one.
It's just a Drake
one-
album. It's just the same thing over and over forever.
It's so funny because I was saying so like Elliot Gould and I worked on a sitcom together, and I had this greatest time with this guy. I mean, the greatest time with this guy. We went to a table read, and someone had told me he had been married to Barbara Streisand. I didn't know that, and so like I'm like bubbling. I'm like, shut the fuck up. There's a table read. Like everyone's in the room, and we sit down, and I go, Elliot, you were married to Barbara Streisand? And he goes, yes, I was. And I said, wow, how crazy was that? He was like, it's interesting. I said, no, but like Barbara Streisand. I mean, how, like, what's she like? He goes, she's a cunt. Can we start now? so then cut to, so like immediately me and him have hit it off, right? I then find Juicy Fruit, and I'm like, and I'm sitting in the thing, I'm sitting in my chair, and he comes over and he goes, oh, what are you doing? And I said, Juicy Fruit, what is the flavor? And he goes, excuse me? I say, here, take a piece. And I go, try to describe the flavors. And he goes, I don't know. This is fascinating. Yeah, what is this flavor? I've had this my whole life and I don't know what flavor it is. What flavor is this? I wouldn't mind a soda that tasted like this. And I said, yeah, what flavor is it? And he goes, I don't know. I guess we'll never know, huh? This is like before people were Googling and stuff. Yeah. So I look on the thing and I call the company. And I go, hey, what flavor is Juicy Fruit? And they're like banana, pineapple, apple, lemon, orange. It's the spectrum of it's all fruits really, but we leave out ... So I tell Elliot and he goes, how did you come about that information? And I was like, well, I just called them. And he was like, it's a novel approach. So then cut to, we're becoming friends, right? We're becoming friends. The very last day, we shoot the pilot and they're doing pickups because we didn't get the pilot that they wanted. And so now it's 2 a.m, okay? They've let the audience go. It's just executives, the cast, the cameramen. They're going over budget. Elliot's playing a blind guy. I'm playing the best friends with this guy, David J. The scene we're doing is David J's wife walks in and goes, can I have a beer? It's before their wedding. Can I have a beer? And I'm supposed to go, sure, toots, right? That's the line. I don't know why. And it wasn't working. And they couldn't figure out why. And so we did it like 12 times. Elliot's blind in this. He's got a dog with him, and he's not breaking character. He's like this. So they walk away, and Elliot Gould leans into my ear and he goes, try to improv the next one. You can give them something they don't know is coming. And I went, okay. So she walks in. She goes, can I have a beer? And I go, is a duck's ass watertight? I go, come on, have a beer with us. And it gets a huge fucking laugh, right? Everyone's laughing. Elliot puts his hand on my shoulder. He goes, great job, great job. The director comes up, showrunner director comes up, smiling, says, I loved it, guys, I loved it, we're going to do one more, just one more. And Bert, and he gets real close, and he goes, how about not fucking me in the fucking ass right now, okay? Because you fucked me in front of all these fucking executives, and I swear to God, I will kick you out of this business myself. Gets up, walks away, and Elliot Gould goes, my bad. So then he leaves me his number on the inside of a pack of Juicy Fruit, which automatically I'm like, okay, it's trying a little hard. Like I get it with Juicy, right. I get it. He leaves me his phone, Elliot, call me, and I'm like, I'm definitely not calling him. Like this is I'm not gonna be. Obviously, I go. He just wants to have sex with me. Like who doesn't like
wants to fuck me?
Yeah, Elliot Gould wants to fuck me, so I don't call him. Right. So a week later, I get a phone call. I answer it, and he goes, Bert. And I said, yeah. And he goes, Elliot. And I said, how did you get my number? And he goes, I called around. I've got it. Listen, me and you need to go to dinner. And I'm like, okay, now he definitely wants to fuck me, right? This guy really wants some bird ass. And I'm like, push. I'm like, I'm good. I'm going out of town. I'll give you a call when I get back. And he goes, okay. And he calls me. when he gets back, and I'm like, he's like, Bird, and I go, yeah, and he goes, it's Elliot. He goes, interesting thing, I fed my granddaughter a pear the other day, watching a pear, and he's just monologuing to me. I'm like, all right, I'm never going to fucking dinner with this guy. This is going to end horribly. Finally, he says, I feel like you're blowing me off. Please have dinner with me. And I went, okay, fuck it. I'll go to a public place, get in and out of there. We sit down for dinner, and we have dinner, and then we get done, and it's like, all right, I'll see you later. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, you're not going to try to kiss me? Like, you're not going to try to fuck me? Offended. Yeah, now I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I'm leaning in. Like,
I fucking blew it, son of a bitch.
I didn't eat garlic because of this. Come on. And then I never saw him again.
No way. Oh, you really did blow it.
No, yeah, he didn't want to be my friend. He was like, something's weird about this guy. He's like, I think he wants to fuck me. By the way, I guarantee you I still have Elliot Gould's number. You don't lose numbers like Elliot.
No, you hang on to that one.
Let's see. What are the odds I have Elliot Gould's number?
Yo, it's wild too, though, as you look this up. Like, your crew of friends also now happens to be, you got it? Yeah, there it is. Elliot Gould's. Let me take that down. But I mean, your crew now, either professionally or true friendship-wise, is like the fucking best in the business, man. Yeah, I talk about it like ad nauseum out here. The crew in LA is just awesome. Well, I think all the podcasters, all the comedians, the network that you guys have, and the way you all blow each other up is fucking awesome.
That was dictated by Rogan.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to acknowledge Rogan was very like you can't really talk shit about comics to Rogan. You can't like trash them. Like if you say like he's very protective of us all being on the same team. Mm-hmm. Like he keeps saying there's no competition. They can listen to my podcast and they can listen to your podcast.
That's over. Like out here, it's cutthroat, and everyone's got their stage time, and everyone's got their podcast.
Yeah. And there's like 3 different scenes here. There's like the Brooklyn alt scene. Mm-hmm. There's the stand, and then there's the cellar, and then there's different scenes. In LA, it's one scene, and it's the store, and it's everyone's invited, and there's no nepotism.
Was it that way? Like, did Joe change it?
No.
Joe made a concerted effort to like change the vibe. I don't think
just Joe would never take credit for any of this personally. Yeah. I mean, I think we can see it from the outside looking in, but he got kicked out of the Comedy Store after the Carlos Mencia stuff, and and I think out of necessity, he found other places to work and found that there were really great comics at the Improv, and there were really great comics at the Ice House, and that there were really great comics on the road. And I think I'm guessing his eyes were a tad bit opened, and that's when he met guys like myself and Segura started going on the road with him, and he didn't. And then when he came back to the store, I think there was a negative energy of real competitiveness of like people bumping each other and doing more time or getting to do 30 minutes in the OR instead of 15 minutes, which was such a bullshit move. And I think Rogan came back and was like, and there was a new book or two at the time, and he was like, none of that. I don't know if Rogan said it personally or if everyone just was like, well, fuck, if Joe's not asking to do that, then no one gets to do it. And Joe wasn't bumping people. Joe wasn't saying, I want more time. Joe was like, I mean, I talk ad nauseum about what a great guy he is, but he legit like does shows at the Improv and it's Rogan and Friends, and he goes out of his way to find young comics that aren't getting spots and puts them on the show, as opposed to myself. Like, if he's in a spot and he can't get someone to come on, he'll text me about, yo, I got to open a spot. And I'll be like, oh, in a heartbeat. But for the most part, it's like maybe Santino, like younger comics that he like goes out of his way. I think, he was the first one to say like this podcasting thing, like we can all benefit from this. Mm-hmm. Like, you being on my podcast helps my podcast, and me being on yours helps your podcast. Like, we should all be benefiting from this. And it was, I mean, he's such a generous fucking guy. Like, it is overwhelming. You go to his podcast, and it's almost like being on The Price is Right. You just go through and you're like, hey, can I get some of these? Can I get some of that? You got some elk meat? I'll take an elk meat. I'll take some vitamins. Hey, what t-shirts you got? You got any new sweatshirts? Well, I'll take a coffee mug. Oh, cool. Like, he's just very very giving in that sense, if he'll, it's really hard to explain, but like I remember one time he called up and he was like, hey man, I got a buddy who wants to give you a grill. And I was like, okay. he's like, cool. Is it cool if I give him your number? I was like, yeah. And then next thing you know, this fucking top end smoker is delivered to my house. And you know that Rogan just kind of like, I remember one time I was buying a new grill and Rogan's like, I got you. Well, I got a buddy at Traeger. I'll get you a grill. And I was like, no, that's not why I brought this up. Like,
I can afford a grill.
Yeah, I can afford a grill. Like, but he's just very, 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 very generous and very selfless.
Yeah.
Like I think he feels like he wants to elevate everyone, and the more you elevate everyone, the more you elevate
yourself
other. The water raises. Yeah. And he's also, not to point out the other side, but he's also very disciplined and strict about comedy and how he believes comedy should be done. And he thinks people should be busting their fucking ass and getting out there every night.
So like you mentioned luck. Do you would you attribute Rogan being drawn to you as like you got lucky and he likes you, or you think that you're like you stand out because you're good and that's why he puts you on and that's why he helps you out?
He would say the latter. I would say the first.
Yeah.
He would say, "Oh no, you're just fucking hilarious. That's why I like you." I would say, "No, I got lucky."
But he doesn't do there is a crew of people that he like. I feel like he has his standards, right?
Well, there's certain. So, I think there's certain types of comedy that maybe he doesn't love. Yeah. I know that anything that's derivative, anything that's unoriginal, anything that's like.
So like you kind of earned it.
Well, I think I'm a talented comedian who loves comedy. I think you also have to have a fucking obsession and passion for comedy the way he does.
Respect for it. Yeah.
But it was. I have to say I was very lucky that I met him at a time when that podcast wasn't what it is today, and he was putting us on. I want to say like 4 or 5 times a year, 6 times a year, maybe 10 times a year. And you were just going on a lot, and you were just hanging out a lot, and you were able to fuck around and be literally become friends and say horrific things that you didn't think anyone was going to hear and confide in each other. And so it was a very, very lucky time to have met Joey, who also wasn't at the Comedy Store, so he was putting on shows at the Ice House, and he was always looking to get guys to come out there. And we were doing the Ice House Chronicles too at the time. So every Friday night, if you weren't on the road, you were out there, and it was you, Joey Diaz, Steve Bernazzi, Ari, Tom, Joe. I mean, it was like a murderer's row. Burr, Dane, like everyone would just show up out there, and we do a podcast and get high and drink, and then take turns going on stage. I mean, it really is like a special time in comedy, and I feel very blessed to have been a part of it because I was also doing spots with the best in the business. So I was holding my writing to a higher standard. And I think this special is indicative of that. My last special, Secret Time, is what I could do in stand-up. That is what I did. It's my sweet spot. This special is hanging out with dudes that have each done 4 or 5 specials and picking their brains about the way they approach their next special. Like Burr, he's like, if you're not challenging yourself, you're not giving your fans anything. Like if you're just going up and going, "Hey, my name's Bill Burr. I don't like white women." Like it's if I just do the same, just different punchlines, I'm not doing anything for this business. And so for me, when I did this special, I was like, all right, I'm gonna write stories about my wife, sex, my kids being stupid. Like that's my sweet spot. Is my
bread and butter.
My bread and butter is me, my family. Everyone's that's in there. It's definitely in there. But I was like, I got to challenge myself to write out of my comfort zone and see if I can do that. And one of the things I wanted to do was talk about something, like a hot button topic issue like gun control, but do it in my way, like show a way that I do something like that. Mm-hmm. And so like I think without a doubt I achieved it. And I also I don't like alienating people. I don't like people coming to a show and going like, dude, I was with you up until you talked about guns, and I got to tell you, man, you're off on that. Because you know me, I'll flip-flop on anything. And so for me, I was like, I want to tell a story where it shows that I love guns, but I should not have one. Right. Like, and so like, both sides. And so it's been really cool. And I think even I get caught off guard because by the way, I'm a fan of everything first. Yeah. So I get caught off guard sometimes when you do like this will already have happened, but on my special, or when my special drops on St. Patty's Day, we're doing a Call and Sick to Work show. I used to do these Call and Sick to Work shows where I'd go to the club at like 10 a.m. Doors would open at 10 a.m. and we'd do a show in the morning and do day drinking. And it's fucking outrageous. It is so much fun. So I just sent a text to my friends, like going, "Hey man, I'd love to have you on the show." And immediately it's like D'Elia, Jim Jeffries, Bill Burr, Tom Segura, Sebastian Maniscalco. Like everyone's like, "Love to, man, love to." Spade hits me up, "Hey man, I heard you're doing a show." And you're like, dude, this is when, I got a text from Norm Macdonald. He was like, "Hey man, I heard you're doing this show. I'd love to come down. I don't know what my schedule's like that day. I think it'd be fun to have a beer with you. And you're like, I'm sitting here going, this is one of my comedy heroes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like Norm Macdonald, having a beer with Norm Macdonald and he doesn't even drink, I don't think, but like he will smoke weed every now and then. Man, that guy is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, of course.
And you're just, and it's Norm Macdonald. Like, dude, he tells some of my favorite jokes ever.
And now he's calling you up.
Yeah, part of one of the jokes I have in my special is based off of loving Norm so much. I wanted a guy walks into a bar joke. I talked to Stan Hope. Stan Hope's like, we got to be as good as the guys that wrote Knock Knock jokes. Why can't we write a Knock Knock joke? So me and Stan Hope are banging around Knock Knock jokes, and then I go, Norm has the best, I got a new neighbor the other day. Like those jokes are fucking that are old school. Those are the fucking best. And so I was like, dude, I got to get one of those. And then luckily, I walk into a Starbucks, something happens, and I walk out. Walk in the next day, same thing happens. I walk out and I go, guy walks into a bar. Guy walks into a bar. Guy walks into a fucking bar. Guy walks into a fucking bar. But it's how I do it. I'm like, oh my God, this is like the greatest joke ever. So yeah, I'm fucking.
Yeah, I mean, you come a long way, right? I mean, from where you started and doing like, breaking your back and like silly shit like that to now.
I'm so.
I mean, you started a lot longer than that. What would you say the luckiest thing that ever happened to you is?
Oh, okay. This is a good question. I would probably start off with
the most important thing.
Well, being born white.
Naturally, you know that. I mean,
a lot of my luck, my wife just attributes to white privilege. She's like, honey, it's not luck. It's very easy for white men in this world. My luckiest thing ever happened, without a doubt, is the Rolling Stone article.
Right.
Rolling Stone being read about me because I had no plans.
I would take that a step further. I think the luckiest thing about you possible that's ever happened in your life is your ability to drink.
True. Yeah. Well,
then
what
Rolling Stone, then the machine. It gave you the ability.
I didn't start drinking until I went to Russia.
Oh, really?
I never drank. I just wasn't like.
Wait, so in college, all that I wasn't drinking?
That's like Jordan being like, I didn't pick up a basketball until I was 18.
He didn't. He didn't.
He was a little late. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I when I went to Russia, all my friends were real big drinkers, and I'd smoke weed and I'd have a beer here and there, but I wasn't really like. I didn't lean on it at all. It wasn't part of my personality. And then I went to
able to be social without it. That must be nice.
Yeah. And by the way, in all honesty, I wasn't that social. I would just hang out. I had a girlfriend. I'd just hang out. I'd go to parties. I'd be crazy. I'd be the guy that got naked and ran around the fucking did the slip and slide. But I didn't need to be drunk to do it. I still don't need to be drunk to do it. And so then I went to Russia and I sat with those mobsters the first night. I was drinking. And we were drinking, and I felt like I was really murdering. And I was like, wow, drinking is like a really easy way to connect with people you don't know. And I was like, wow. And then
I get it.
And then I found, like, I drank all through Russia and had a great time. And then we went to Europe. We backpacked through Europe. And I found that with a couple of beers, everything turned into I loved the feeling of like, I love the feeling of the last person that didn't want to drink going, fuck it. I love that feeling. And when you could get everyone to give up.
So accurate.
When you could get everyone to give up what their plans were and rewrite their future just based on, come on, one beer. Have one beer with us.
Here,
don't go to that museum. Let's sit down here. Let's have one beer. And then you get just that one person that goes, fine, fuck it.
Because it's not just a beer. You're signing a social contract. Like, yo, whatever happens, to happen. Like every time where you're just like, look, I'm giving up what I had planned for the day. We're going to see what happens with this beer. Then
I trust you.
Next one.
I had a moment when I was in Austria. My friends were coming on a train late. They had gone to like Venice to go look at museums, and I just went straight to Austria. And I got there, and I was at the bar, and I was getting beers, and he's like, last call. I go, hold on. My friends are on a train, and they're coming here, and I've promised them that we're going to have a beer together. And he was like, well, unless you can entertain me. And I said, hold on, is that a deal? And he goes, yeah. I said, put on music. I'm going to dance on the bar, and I promise you I'll keep you entertained. And I did this strip tease on the bar that must have lasted 50. I mean, the place was all around me. They're howling. And I remember this so vividly. I remember my friends walked in the bar. They see me half naked on the bar, and I go, they're here! And the place went, yeah! And my friends are like, what the fuck did you do? But like, I get chill bumps thinking about like stuff like moments like that where you can get people to bend the rules. And everything was surrounded around alcohol. And then I think there's definitely been times where I was like, maybe it's too much booze involved, and like those times you're like, oh Jesus, man, I got to turn things around. But and then when Rolling Stone wrote the article about me, I wasn't even like, I was a big drinker and all, and I partied a lot, but it was more about being the life of the party. About like, I remember I'd climb up the telephone poles just outside the bars on Tennessee Street, and it would be packed. There would be like 1,000 kids just standing there. It's college. It's like the height, right? I'd climb up to the top of the telephone pole. The cops are on horseback, like all around there. And I'd yell, I have marijuana at my house. If you know my address, I will see you there. If you don't, ask someone that does. No one tell the cops. And the cops would be like, hold on. I mean, there was so much shit like that where I also love a little chaos. And so, I don't know, but luckiest easily was get a phone call, and I'm taking a bong hit. I'm getting ready to play disc golf. My buddy Blair hands me the phone, and he goes, hey, it's Rolling Stone for you. And I was in the middle of a bong hit. I was like, hello? And he says, my name is Eric Hedegaard. I work for Rolling Stone Magazine. I want to write an article about Florida State University, and I've called around, and they said that you're the guy to hang out with, and I was wondering if I could come in a week in November and spend a week with you and just kind of tail you around the school. Would you be interested? And I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm sorry, were you just doing a bong hit? And I said, yeah. And he goes, I think I found the right guy.
Yeah. That, like, you passed the test.
Yeah.
Like,
and then like I said, I was a big drinker, but I wasn't like crazy. I think I've always been a little less than people think, and then more at times. But like last night more. But like he came and he spent the week with me, and he was like, so what do we do? And you're just like, I guess we go drink. And he was like, okay, let's go. And he had the Rolling Stone credit card. He was. I say he was an old man. He was probably like 30.
Yeah.
Like now I look back,
Let's
I'm like, he was
geezer.
an old man. Yeah. We got him high for the first time in a while. Like he was like, oh, you can't tell my wife about this. And then we went.
All right, I got her number. I was just about to call her.
It was great. It was like we had a Rolling Stones credit card, so I just called the fraternity house and go, hey, if the pledge answered, I go, hey, tell everyone we're going to Potbelly's. Rolling Stones paying, and they'd be like, guys, Rolling Stones paying, and then everyone would show up. We party. We go home. We threw epic parties that week. And he left with such an impression of me of like, holy fuck, that they changed the article and just made the article about me, not Florida State. And when I opened that article, I was floored. I was like, I remember I cried reading it because I was like, oh my God, it was like someone wrote something cool about you.
Yeah. I mean, that's something where it's like, I feel like a lot of comics and people like us are kind of like self-deprecating, always like making fun of ourselves. But you read that and you're almost like, oh, I'm awesome. Yeah. Like this is like proof positive. I'm a fucking awesome time.
Bert Kreischer 6.5 years to become the man he is today, which is the #1 party animal at the #1 party school in the nation. And I was like,
holy shit.
I remember closing the article and going, all right, there's probably going to be some bad stuff in here. And then I open, I go, no, there's not. And I just sobbed crying. And I was like, that's the luckiest thing. Look, I mean, there's so many things of luck that come through where you're like, I'll tell you another very, very lucky thing is, do my Showtime special. This machine story I tell on the Showtime special. No one watches the Showtime special. I don't think anyone understood the way you'd structure a special before then. No one watches the Showtime special. I then misread my contract, and it says you can post 4 clips. I don't see that it says 4 clips under 2 minutes each. I post 4 clips, one of which is the machine story, and I posted on December 27th. Random as fuck. The moment I post it, woman in Minnesota is getting a brand new iPod out and uploading Facebook and sees the thing and goes, oh, I know the story, and comments right when I post it. She comments, one of the first comments on there, and she writes, I was in Bert's Russian class. I was on this trip. This story's 100% true. He fucking robbed us. And then she tags everyone in my class. Now, look, had that not happened, I'm not sure that story would have gone viral the way it did.
I didn't know that.
Because that comment was left, people like content providers started ripping it, putting it on their page, and then putting in the big bold letters, this story is 100% true. And they'd screen grab her caption. And I was like, holy shit. By the way, she had done that before and no one had seen it.
Just didn't hit that
She had done it before on another time it was posted and no one's seen it. She did it again. Lucky as shit. And then it goes fucking viral. I mean, that is so...
And who knows, if that doesn't happen. Actually, if that doesn't happen, you're him.
Yeah.
We were talking about this the other day.
I'm you, I just not the successful part. Like I did 7 years in college, FSU, didn't graduate.
Yeah?
I didn't graduate. You finished, right?
I had to take prison classes.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that means.
They'd send you a box. It was a Florida State.
I didn't do them all at FSU. I just did 2 at FSU. I did everything else up and down the Eastern Seaboard.
But if you had a viral story, who knows?
Yeah.
Instead, you're just fucking sitting here with me like a dick.
Well, I think. Well, we'll talk more luck about that. That story I had, I just didn't tell on stage because I was like, it's not a stage story. And Rogan was like, no, it's a stage story. I go, no, it's not. And he was like, and his podcast is blowing up.
Yeah,
it's
it
at
is
the
now.
right
The
time.
rules are changing too. It's like it may not have been a story you would tell at a stand-up act, but now it is.
Yeah,
Fuck
and
it.
he goes, all right, where are you this weekend? I said, Columbus, Ohio. He goes, everyone, show up, see the Machine in Columbus, and chant the Machine until he tells a story. Do not let him get off stage without telling that story. He has to tell that story, guys. We need to do this for him. I go up on stage the first night, sold out, right? I get to like the end of my set, and I was like, all right, I'm going to be out at the bar. And then someone goes, tell the Machine. And I go, oh, guys, I'm not going to do that. This guy in the front row goes, hey, man, we understand it's going to be bad, okay? But you got to tell it in order for it to get good. So we're here. Like, right, guys? Everyone's like,
Honestly, even that guy to me would be more important than the girl who commented. Like, just like okay, like we're in the trust tree now, and I'm gonna try this out.
Yeah.
If he doesn't say that, who knows? You walk off stage, don't do it. Like,
I remember going, seriously? He goes, oh, we'll fake laugh. Don't worry.
and he was just a guy in the crowd, a fan of the crowd.
Dude. This is back when
incredible.
Death Squad was like a legit thing, like Death Squad Loyal, and that was like a group that just supported Rogan because like Rogan and Red Band were doing the same thing at the same time. So they'd come out and they'd just be all covered in Death Squad gear, and you'd sell out a weekend in Columbus, Ohio, and it would be you'd get the same 30 dudes would come to every single one of your shows, and then it would build to like 150 dudes, and it was just insane. But they were like, "Don't worry, man, it's gonna." And I told it that night, and then the next night I was like, they're like, the Machine. And I was like, well, I told it last night. I bet I can figure it out. I told it again. And then I just kept telling it. It didn't get good for like 4 years. And so I was like, and I just kept telling it going, I'll figure this story out.
Yeah, right. Like you said, when you finally hit it.
And then I fucking and then I figured it out. I figured it out one night in Columbus, oddly enough, same night in Columbus. The story didn't have an end to it. And they used to have a plant on stage with you in Columbus, in the old Columbus Funny Bone. And they didn't, and I remember thinking, it's a fake plant. But I was like, I had this moment where I said, I was fucking the part of the story up because the lady that he spit the vodka in her face, she was Puerto Rican, and I would bring that up, and it was like a pointless thing to bring up, but I just brought it up because I liked that it was a detail. And then I didn't bring it up that time. I go, he spits the vodka in her face, and instead of going, this woman Puerto Rican or whatever, I go, and he just goes, fuck this bitch. Fuck. He looks at me, he goes, fuck that bitch. This is Russia, which is what he said in real life. I put that in, and as soon as I put that in, I looked at that tree and I said to myself, and this is the silliest thing I said, I just planted a seed of something that's going to grow that I can harvest at the end of the story. It was the greatest. It's why I say I love stand-up. I love this. My energy level skyrocketed. I got so fucking excited because I knew at the end of the story now, I could say, so I understand you're the Machine, and that's where the story ended, right? But it never popped the way I did. Now I knew I could go, so I understand you're the Machine, and I go, I'm not in trouble, and he could tag it and go, no, fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
It was the greatest fucking feeling of going like, that's how the story ends.
Right.
I've got an end to it. Right now I got a story about finding a lost child, and it has no ending, and it's just meandering. And last night I was like, that didn't end well, huh, guys? And they were like, no. Not at all, buddy.
We gotta work on
you
that.
need to do more work. Like, we're here, but you should be doing the work on your own also.
I feel like the newest thing is the Mickey Mantle gene. I feel like you should lean the fuck into that. That's such a, I mean, it's so true for you, but it's such a brilliant thought that like, I mean, everybody I think that is the most important. You might be have the most important trait in the world. It's incredible.
It's I'm telling you, man, it's John Daly's got it.
Yeah.
Babe Ruth had it.
Right.
It's just those people.
I mean, that's it. It's like you three. It's an exclusive
Those people
club that's
that can
fucking awesome.
Party all night, get up the next morning, and put in work and perform like a champion on fumes.
But then even, you went out and saw McAfee, and you're like, yeah, I'll kick a field goal or I'll jump off this.
McAfee said to me, he goes, I gotta be honest with you, we gotta leave it. And he goes, I'm starting to believe in this Mickey Mantle team.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never kicked a soccer ball in my life. Like, I mean, kicked it, like, but never played soccer.
Yeah.
We did 2 kicks, and my second one, he goes, by the way, that's a legit 20-yarder that you just kicked. And he was like, I think you could do this. Yeah. And I'm like,
I got faith in you for sure.
Oh, I want to go out on a field and kick. But also, I'm an athlete. Like I know I'm fat, but people forget I like was a legit athlete, like very good athlete. So like and I believe. Did you see that Yoel Ramirez clip where he talks about anything in life is possible? It's so fucking insane. Yoel Ramirez is like, he tells this story about someone beating Muhammad Ali, I think, and then did any of you guys see this? And he's like, it's so good. And I believe, like, if you can envision something, you can do it. That's why I ran the marathon. I go, just don't say no. Like this is there. I don't have an option. I'm already here. All I have to do is put one foot in front of the other foot for the next 5 hours. I can do that. Anyone can do that. Just shuffle your feet for 5 hours. Just shuffle. That's it. And I believe in that. Like Dave said the other day, he goes, I think I could swim across the Catalina Channel. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah. I go, let's do it. And he goes, hold on, you got to train. I go, no. We can do this. He goes, Burr, you're not going to last an hour. I go, let's see. But I believe, I love that. I would do a TV show just based on the Mickey Mantle gene.
Yeah.
I did a show called The Cinderella Story, where I would go in and enter a competition with no training, no insight, just enter the competition, see if I can win it. Like the Cinderella Story, come from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We did the Scottish Highland Games in Long Beach. I had no training. I got drunk as fuck, and I came in third.
Really?
Could you imagine there's some bastard who does that like every year? It's like the biggest thing he does, and you come in fucking third.
Oh, they were livid. They were livid. Like, and what it was is that, I'm not shitting on Scottish Highland Games athletes, but for the most part, they're just guys that didn't get into scuba diving or owning motorcycles. And this is their hobby, is putting on a skirt once a year and just getting drunk and getting in touch with their heritage. And it was just a lot of out-of-shape guys. And we did a hammer throw, and they're like, we did the fucking stone shot put, and I set the record. And they're like, what the fuck? The best was the caber toss. We go to do the caber toss. I have no previous knowledge of what to do with the caber toss. I just watch a couple people and I go, oh, this makes sense. And the whole thing about a caber toss is you want it to flip, like
that's where you're throwing like the fucking tree trunk,
right? You want it to go up
Yeah.
and you want it to flip and land square. So like if you start at 6 o'clock, you want it to land at noon.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just did it perfectly first try. And they're like, you have 3 more tries. I go, I'm good.
Pass.
It was, but yeah, that.
So you should, it's almost like you should bring back the Travel Channel thing, but now that you're big enough and famous enough and rich enough and successful enough, you could do it on your own terms. If you had a show called The Mickey Mantle Gene that you did your way, I think that would be fucking incredible, wouldn't it?
Mickey Mantle Gene, just go in and just see if I can take professional athletes. Like,
Just do cool shit all around the world.
Eddie Bravo is Joe's good friend and the originator of the Rubber Guard and 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, like champion, only American to ever tap a Gracie ever. And one night, I'm like standing behind him. I go, I wonder if I could just take him down. But that's how my brain works.
Yeah,
my brain goes.
That's where you're gonna get
my brain
trouble.
goes. I wonder. So I just kind of like go up, and I just come up behind him, and he just sensed it, and he goes, "Hey, you're thinking wrong right now." I go, what? And he goes, this is what I do for a living, man. I'll fuck you up bad. And I was like, oh yeah. He goes, put that Mickey Mantle gene in your back pocket.
This is not a bunch of drunk guys in Scotland. I will fucking kill you, man.
Was I telling someone the other day? I go, oh, this is gonna annoy some people, but this is exactly who the fuck I am. So we move we get a new house when I'm 10 years old. We lived in like this redneck neighborhood. We get into a new house, and we go to this new church, St. Mary's, and my dad takes us to church for the first time in a new house, and we take communion, and you have to take communion. You sit and you kneel and you pray for a little bit, thank God or whatever. I sit down. By the way, this is not who my dad is at all. I sit down in the chair and I'm smiling, and my dad goes, "Hey, what were you praying for?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "Well, what were you doing on your knees?" I said, "I was thanking God." And he goes, "For what?" And I go, "For all these God-given abilities." And my dad goes, "What God-given abilities do you have?" I go, "Name it." My dad has worked his ass off for everything in life. He's just like, the fuck did I do to this kid? Jesus Christ, eat shit and cash checks. Yeah, right. Fucking I remember, there's so many times, like, my personality is not, it's not like when I was in like first grade, I was playing second base for our Pinto team, and the bases were loaded, and they popped a fly ball up to me, and I caught it, and everyone cheered, and I spiked the ball, I ripped my shirt off, and I started dancing, and I mean, My dad was livid. He was like, "What the fuck?" But the people are going
Crazy.
Yeah. Imagine seeing a 6-year-old rip his shirt off, spike a ball, and start dancing. You'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with this kid?" And I got in the car, and my dad's like, "There's what the fuck is wrong with you? Something's wrong with you. You don't do that." And I go, "Dad, all the guys I love in sports dance when they score." And he goes, "You spiked the ball. Everyone tagged in and ran in.
It wasn't last night.
You lost the game. You lost the game." I was like, "Yeah, but everyone's going to remember me dancing." And he goes, "It doesn't matter if they remember you dancing. You lost the fucking game." I go, "Oh,
yeah, but it does.
I think everyone's going to remember me dancing."
Thank God, man. That's why you are who you are today, dude.
It's
Working out pretty well.
It's Segura and I. It's the thing that it makes him like frustrates him with me, but makes him like I'll tell you a perfect example is we do that stupid dance video, and I go, "I think a dance video would really blow up," and everyone's like, "The fuck are you talking about?" And I tell Joe, Ari, and Tom, I go, "We should do dance videos. We'll do hip hop dancing for Sober October." And they're like, "No, we're not doing hip hop dance video." So I'm like, "Fuck it, I'll do it." And so I hire a dance teacher. I do the dance teacher, and it goes viral. And Segura's like, "You motherfucker! Like
You can dance." It was Mickey
by the
Mantle.
way,
Like you can kind of move.
I can barely dance.
But you kind of
can't barely dance. I've watched that video more times than I care to admit. I'm like, fucking Bert,
It's the Mickey Mantle gene. You're just like, yeah, my body can do this shit. I don't know why.
It's just I was obsessed with dance videos. I still am obsessed with dance videos.
Are you guys doing a third? Are you gonna like do another round or something together?
We're gonna. I tell you what I really wanted to do. I told Tom he should do it. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast or if they edited it out, but I wanted to do it with my wife. For April Fool's Day, I wanted to release a porn video.
Oh Jesus!
I wanted to hire 2 porn stars and have them fuck.
Do the deep fake shit?
Yeah, no. And then have me videotaping like, oh, I love you so much. And then flip the camera around and it's Leanne, right? You can see her face. And then, oh, I want to show you. And then bring it down here and then do the splice there and show a porn star with a big dick just slamming the and just be like, "Oh, you're so hot." And then scroll up to her tits and it's not Leanne's tits or anything, but you hear Leanne's voice throughout the whole thing.
Oh my God.
I wanted to do it so bad. And my wife's like, "I'm not doing it."
I was gonna say, she's a cool chick. I think there's even a line
She's
for
like,
her.
"I am not doing that." And then I was like, "Tom, you should do that with Push." He was like, Done.
Is she
Fucking
down?
Done. I don't know. Push has got Push has got a wider sense of humor than Leanne. Leanne's sense of humor is pretty like dialed in to like
normal
America's Funniest Home Videos.
To not being on Pornhub.
Not being on Pornhub.
I mean, let's not knock her. I think that's a reasonable line to have.
I posted a video a long time ago of a sex tape of me and her, but it was like me going, "Hey, let's videotape ourselves having sex," and she was like, "No, I'm not doing that." And I go, "Come on, just a little bit." She goes, "No." I go, "Well, then you watch me." And I go to start, and it edits right when my dick comes out. And her aunt found it and was like, she was like, "Honey, you got to scrub that off the internet." And I go, "It's already on the internet.
Too late.
Too late. It's already happened. It's out there. Yeah, it's in God's hands."
Getting tons of subscribers on my Model Hub page.
Godspeed. The best is if just a girl and Push do it when he goes to do his I said, "Tom, you should do it so that when you do the money shot, the dick comes out and a black hand grabs your dick and just turns it off."
It's unbelievable, man.
I don't
know that's gonna happen.
I don't know. Yeah. And then what's so funny? He goes, "I'm not letting a black dude grab my cock." And I went, "Tom, it's not
your dick."
cock." And he went, "Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. Yeah." And I was like, "Wait, are you gonna fuck the porn star?" I bet Tom said he was doing the math. He's like, "Yeah, I'll fucking rail some porn star, and then we'll just pretend we'll put his face in." If you could fuck any porn star right now, who would it be?
Oh boy. See, this is a tough question.
Is it tougher than this one that I'm about to ask? If you had to make out with any male actor, ready? Here we go. No, I'm gonna give you the 3 names. Okay. Brad Pitt.
That's gonna be tough to beat.
The Wolverine.
Hugh
Jackman, or Keanu Reeves.
Brad. That's easy.
I saw you like Keanu, right?
Yeah, Keanu.
Out of like looks, personality, the whole package.
He'd be the most like kissing a chick.
Yeah, he's very feminine.
Yeah, like he's
very
like
feminine.
Yeah, but if I want to kiss a guy, I don't want to kiss a chick.
Yeah, I kind of
want to kiss a guy. I want Brad Pitt to have like a fucking beard.
I want Brad Pitt like pulling my hair, maybe choking me a little bit. You know, I want to get ragdolled by Brad Pitt.
I want to kiss a girl. I'll go kiss a girl. I want to kiss fucking Brad Pitt, man.
Okay, who's the most manly dude you could kiss? Like, let's name the ultimate like Nick Offerman. Like who's a guy where you're gonna kiss him and you're gonna smell musk and like.
Like a kind of like a Midwest, like a fat, like.
Well, you're not gonna be like I'm. You need it to be like leading man, like George Clooney.
If we're talking manly,
Well, that's-
honestly Rogan might be up there.
Yeah, that's true. You missed that with Joe. Yeah, you're too close to the
Rogan
situation.
like hunts
But
elk
what
and
you
then eats
described-
it.
what
Rogan's
you
a pretty
described
manly
is
man.
Rogan. He's the top dog. He's the alpha man.
Oh.
He's fucking hunting and a carnivore and all that shit. Rogan's like half animal. He's like not even a full human sometimes.
I can't even wrap my head around that.
How much
fucking
money
grosses
for you
me
to
out so
fucking
much.
just make out with Joe?
None, zero.
Come on.
No, not zero. I mean,
Little Freudian slip there.
no. I'll do it for free.
Well, that's a perfect lead in. We're gonna go next door and answer more questions like this because we got a whole deck of them.
Oh, fuck
but
yeah.
I appreciate the interview, man. And obviously,
I love you guys.
you've blown
Thank you
the
for
fuck
doing
up,
Thank you
so
very much. It's out St. Patrick's Day, right? New Burr special on Netflix.
Hey, big boy, out on St. Patrick's Day on Netflix. Stream it, tell your friends, enjoy it.
It's not out St. Patrick's. It's out today.
Today.
St. Patrick's Day / today.
Today. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm getting drunk at the Comedy Store. Go check out my Instagram stories.
How wasted are you gonna get?
I'm going to be blackout.
That's got to be the ultimate, like, you know, when you were in school, you finish a test and you go party or whatever to finish a special.
Finish a
After the
special.
bar's been raised too, like people have expectations for your special.
I hope
and shit.
not. I hope lower those. My buddy was like, "Hey man, we're getting a lot of people asking to review your special." I was like, "Don't let them do it. I go, just put it out, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. Then shut the fuck up. You like the first one, right? This one's good.
sure
I
it's
think
gonna be good,
I'm
dude.
really proud of this one.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten to the point when I got done with this one, I was like, I don't want to do another one because I can't do. Like, I got really lucky on this one where I had like great stuff happen in my life that it were really easy to write about. Great, and I
know what you're saying, and I can hear.
I feel like I don't wanna
totally
know.
subscribe to everything you're talking about with luck, but also like you're a talented dude who really takes the shit seriously. So whatever next happens in your life will be the material for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
probably gonna be the coronavirus.
God willing.
let's hope.
All right, big thanks to Bert Kreischer. That interview was brought to you by Zebra. Americans are overpaying for their car insurance by over $21 billion. I know for a fact I am overpaying on my car insurance. It's up over like $400 somehow now. All of a sudden, it just jumped like several $100s. Granted, we all got in car accidents, so maybe that's why. But still, every single month, I see that bill come through. I'm like, what is going on here? But Zebra.com can help me find a better rate because it's the nation's leading car insurance comparison site. It's the only place you can compare quotes side by side from over 100 providers and choose the best one for you in 90 seconds or less. They will never sell your information to spammers, and they will always make sure you get the lowest price possible. You just answer a few questions on a simple, fast form. They will find you the best rates and coverage in your state, and they call this the Kayak for auto insurance. So if you're familiar with Kayak, comparing prices on your trips, you can do that now with car insurance. You can save up to $670 per year when you go over to zebra.com, thezebra.com/KFC. That's THEZEBRA.com/KFC and start saving. That's zebra.com/KFC. I mean, I really want to say all in with his ATI and that interview. That might have been our best, most worthwhile like guest appearance ever.
I agree with that. I mean,
He was a lot of great ones. Huh?
He was with us for like an hour and a half.
I know. On a Saturday too. He was here doing stand up. Said he could squeeze us in on a Saturday. I was afraid that meant it was going to be like a quick one, like he was just doing us a favor. But he hung out, chopped it up. I mean, we could have kept going too. That's the thing. At one point, I was like, all right, I guess I gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
can't do like a 5-hour podcast, but he is that dedicated to the game. I feel like he would have gone as long as we wanted to. But I expect huge things on his ATI. So please go watch that. And like so much good shit in that interview. I would put him right there at the top because we've had plenty of great guests. But as far as like bang for your buck, you know what I mean? That is going to be one of the most worthwhile hour and a halves that we've ever had. Got it in just before Corona. The amount of shit that we've unfortunately had to cancel kind of sucks. And I do want people to know I got a little FOMO of all the comedians posting their our shows canceled, our tours canceled, and everyone being like, no. We had a whole tour ready to go We got an agent who booked it all out, mapped it all out. 10 cities, 12 shows, New York, Philly, Chicago, Boston, Atlanta, Nashville, DC. We had a whole tour ready for you guys to go. And it's very funny to look back. And we were like, I don't know, like maybe we should still do it. No, not an option.
No.
Like all that stuff. Like, hey, maybe we'll still have the tournament. Maybe baseball will start on time. I just want to make sure I have dinner tonight. Like, we just need to make sure we survive. So it does suck, but there's much, much worse things going on that we have to worry about.
Yeah, we're being heroes again.
Once again, I'm going to go. I can't wait to get my Medal of Honor at the end of all this for, 159 straight days on the couch. We should set that Guinness Book of World Records, bro. Stay on the couch for 100 hours or whatever.
Oh, yeah. 92, I think it was. 96.
The amount of people who are going to be world record holders after this.
Right.
I mean, everybody's going to be a hero. Everyone's going to be a champion, a gold medalist, because everyone's going to stay inside. And so
we are going to probably need voicemails, though.
Yes. Okay. So call the voicemail line, 646-807-8665. Load up on voicemails. We'll also take your tweets. If you want to tweet us questions, tweet at KFC Radio. And maybe we can even open the mailbox. I want to say it's kfcradio.com/mailbox. Maybe we could do some old school mail time as well. So make sure you get
guests for at least a little while. Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone's canceling press tours, but then we're going to have to make a decision whether we want to do like phone interviews, which I lean towards no, but if it's
a great guest, we'll do yes.
Yeah, if we're going, 3 months without ever having a guest, like we'll probably open it up to phone interviews. But
bro, I'm telling you, we are going back to the old days. Like I feel bad for the young kids and the new podcasts. They're probably lost. At least we have a blueprint of what to do. So we're kicking it old school style for the foreseeable future. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you later this week for another edition of KC Radio.
We're all been playing the ukulele.
You motherfucker.